and great to have them up here in Sioux Falls for this ball game tonight. So the Cedar Rapids Titans have won the toss, have elected to defer to the second half, and the Sioux Falls Storm will receive the football. Again, offensively for the Sioux Falls Storm, Lyle McCombs at the running back, Lorenzo Brown at quarterback, Melvin German the third at a wide receiver, along with Judd Harold and Mike Tatum. And across that front offensive line, Jabari Buckley, Rashad Mungro, and the center, Lawrence Martin the fourth. Defensively for the Titans, Bramwell, Lee, Calhoun, Lindsay, Florence, White, Wilson, and Bell are the probables, and that could certainly change once they take the field. Waiting for the Sioux Falls Storm. They're in their huddle in their end zone, need to run down to the other end of the field, the Titans. Again, dressed in their white jerseys, blue numerals, black helmets, all ready to kick off. And Michael Giorgetti out of Fairleigh Dixon University. And he's one of the only players returning from last year. In fact, this is his third year with the Cedar Rapids Titans. Back to receive for the Sioux Falls Storm, Lorenzo White Jr. He's back to receive along with Lyle McCombs. Lorenzo White just signed recently, so we have two Lorenzos, both in color, Lorenzo Brown and Lorenzo White. Here's Giorgetti's end over end, signed away kick, going to push McCombs all the way back to the 7 yards deep, up to the goal line, 5 to the 10, and pushed out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Coming out of the stop defensively, Moses White out of Shaw University. So the Sioux Falls Storm will start this campaign at their own 14-yard line, 14:56 to play first quarter.
Cedar Rapids had really nice coverage on the kickoff right there. And McCombs, very dangerous weapon as a kick returner. He had a seam, but Cedar Rapids really big play to start the game, just sealing the Storm up on their own 14-yard line.
Crowd filling in. Have part of the upstairs open on the near side. Won't probably see that on camera, anybody watching on the YouTube broadcast, but the upper part on the near side is opened. Lorenzo Brown has McCombs to his left side, two in motion, one each side, gets the shotgun snap. Fakes the handoff. It's going to be Lorenzo Brown, keeps it, go around the left side. He's got it open at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5 into the end zone. Touchdown. One play drive, but was he pushed out of bounds? And they're going to say no, it is touchdown. Sioux Falls Storm, Lorenzo Brown.
Lorenzo just ran a great dive read option. Got to the outside, Storm receivers sealed their blocks, and there was nobody in the secondary to stop him from Cedar Rapids.
So Lorenzo Brown takes that 34 yards on that one play drive. He needs 2 more points. 2 more points to have 600 in his IFL career. Now Bergner on to try the point after touchdown. Out of the hold of Lorenzo Brown, he puts it up, and it's good. And with 13:51 to play in this first quarter, Sioux Falls Storm up on top by a score of 7-0. We'll pause for 30 seconds. We'll be back. You're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Boyer Trucks, First Premier Bank, and Fireplace Professionals right here on KWSN. We'll be back right after this.
Billion Hyundai, our knowledgeable staff is dedicated to finding you the right vehicle. Get to know us today. You'll be glad you did. Check out our great deals on new Hyundais, including the all-new 2018 Hyundai Sonata, our best Sonata ever. Or check out one of our incredible SUVs, like the new 2018 Hyundai Tucson or Santa Fe, all with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and Hyundai Assurance. See dealer for limited warranty details. Get to know us at Billion Hyundai, 41st in Westport, Sioux Falls, or at billionauto.com/.
Sioux Falls Storm put together one play drive, 36-yard run. Lorenzo Brown, Bergner's point after touchdown is good. 29 seconds off the clock. Storm up on top, 7-0, and the Titans coming to bat. But Lorenzo Brown, for the year, that is his 8th rushing touchdown. And now Miles Bergner getting ready to kick off for the Sioux Falls Storm. One deep setback for the Cedar Rapids Titans. And back there, as he watches it go over the back dasher's board, Daniel Lindsay, former member of the Sioux Falls Storm. He had a kick return for a touchdown for the Storm earlier this year. But now with the kick, goes over the Backdasher board by rule goes out to the 20-yard line. If Bergner kicks another one over the back board, then the ball will go to the 25 for the rest of the evening. Any kicks out of bounds in that regard.
Well, the strategy is to keep the ball in front of you, let them start 20-yard line. And right now, their strategy is to keep the ball in front of them on this first play.
Midlock hands it off, carries it up the right side, goes across the 25 into Storm territory, and carrying the football, Raphael Lawson-Gale, not a big running back, very quick, 5'9", 175 out of Southwest Minnesota State, cracks off about 6 yards, gets it into Storm territory at about the 24. Now the Titans split Smith wide, deep to the left side, and to the near side, Hollenbeck, and he is a big receiver at 6'6". There's a snap. Give the handoff, and a tackle in the backfield. Ball comes out, scramble for it. Ball going to be recovered by the Sioux Falls Storm. As coming in to make the fumble was Chris Martin, and coming up with a fumble recovery for the Sioux Falls Storm, a new member, Damon Smith. But the Sioux Falls Storm get the first turnover of the contest.
It's a great start for the Storm. You come out, you score, first play of the game, 36-yard run by Lorenzo Brown, and then you come right back and you get your turnover of the game. So already ahead on the turnover margin, and the Storm are just really coming out and doing what they intended to do.
We have not even played 2 minutes in this ball game. The Storm up on top, 7-0. Now they have the ball after the fumble. They have it at the 21-yard line of Cedar Rapids. 13 minutes to play, first quarter. And turnovers are a huge factor in the ball game. Any ball game. Last week, the Storm had 3 of them against Arizona. Arizona converted all 3 of those to touchdowns. Motion, line of scrimmage. And coming across was Brandon Wainwright as he pushed Sioux Falls Storm Lawrence Martin back into the offensive backfield. Flag on the field. We'll have Brad Bunting tell us about it.
Defense, number 66 with contact, 5 yards from the previous spot, remains first down.
So the penalty will put it down to the 16-yard line of Cedar Rapids. Just underway, Sioux Falls Storm up on top, 7-0. Rich Rosty along with Chad Gamarco at the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls. Tatum split deep on the left along with Harold. And German split to the right side. Tatum through the box. Handoff instead goes there to McCombs. Weaves his way on the left side across the 15 down to about the 10-yard line. Into the stop, Bramwell. Also there was Lee.
McCombs makes a nice run. He just throws a dive left. Picks up effective gain on the play. Puts a Storm first down on the 10-yard line.
Gain of 11 for Lyle McCombs. 5'8", 195 out of UConn. Special teams player of the week. 2 in motion, 1 through the box, but the handoff goes to McCombs. This time he weaved his way down just right up the middle, made a move right, made a move left, got down to about the 4-yard line. Leon in the stop along with Moses White, but a gain of 6.
With the early lead, it allows you just to establish your run game, try to create balance. They got a run-pass option, and they're staying balanced, so it's a great start as they're down on the 4-yard line.
Second down and goal from the 4. Lorenzo Brown, the keeper, breaks out of one tackle, and he forces his way down, dives over the end zone, touchdown, Sioux Falls Storm. As he broke out of the tackle of Bramwell at about the 4-yard line, Lorenzo Brown takes it in, and now for Lorenzo Brown, he has just surpassed 600 points in his IFL career.
That's an impressive career for Lorenzo, specifically as a quarterback, to have that many rushing yards and touchdowns. The thing I notice in this drive is how well they're reading their option, their read, the decision making.
Bergner puts up the point after, and it's good. And the Sioux Falls Storm leads by a score of 14-0. Back to you, Chad. What was, you can finish what you were saying?
Well, I think getting the early lead allows them, just really right now, is you want to generally create a run-pass option, but they're reading the option dive so well that they're creating balance in their run game. And with a 14-0 lead early, it really allows you to establish the physical inside running game.
Sioux Falls Storm used 3 plays, covered 21 yards, a minute and 52 off the clock. Picked up 1 first down. Lorenzo Brown, 4-yard carry. Point after touchdown by Bergner is good. He is 2 for 2. And Lorenzo Brown has his second rushing touchdown again. Lorenzo Brown just surpassed 600 points scored in his IFL career. So Cedar Rapids in a hole early. 10:31 to play, first quarter. And the Storm leading 14-0 over the 1-5 Cedar Rapids Titans. Bergner getting ready to kick off. Lindsay back to receive the kick. Standing in his own end zone, 2 up backs standing at about the 15. Bergner puts it up high. End over end kick is going to be Lindsay. About 4 yards deep on the right, comes up the center, veers it to the center, cuts back to the right at the 10-yard line, cannot get away, and making a stop, Lorenzo White Jr. out of Central Michigan University made the tackle, and the Titans will have the ball first down and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
Generally, that high kickoff is a good returnable kick, but the Storm really did a nice job with their lane discipline and covered the kick very well, so they're down at the 10-yard line to start this next drive, their second drive of the game.
Jake Medlock at quarterback. Shotgun, short drop, dumps it across the middle, gets it there to Marquell Wade out of University of Arkansas, and he takes it up across the 20 out to about the 22-yard line. That's a first down for Cedar Rapids. And Chad, like you talked about it in the pregame show, Cedar Rapids has a very good passing attack.
Yeah, I mean, their efficiency, their reading is good. You can obviously see on that first play, they just hit a quick under route to the left side. And that's probably one of the reasons they're so efficient is they make the quick, easy read and take advantage of what the defense is giving you.
Quick snap off to the outside, gets it there to Wade again. This time he's going to push from the boards as Gorman made that only a 2-yard pickup. But the Cedar Rapids Titans come into the ballgame, #1 ranked passing offense in the IFL, averaging about 172 yards a ball game. However, the Sioux Falls Storm, the #1 ranked pass defense, allowing just over 109 yards a game. So Cedar Rapids, the Titans have the ball second down and about 8 yards to go from their own 23-yard line. Medlock dumps it across the middle. Oh, but picked off there by Snoop Blackman. The pass intended across the middle as he tried to get that to Lawson Gale, a little bit behind him, and Snoop Blackman almost had a pick on that.
Yeah, Cedar Rapids has to feel good. They got a little lucky there because they basically put one right in Snoop's hands. And it'll be interesting to see if they can respond here. It's third down and 8 yards after basically the mishap on offense.
So Smith splits wide to the wide side of the field, the left. 2 in motion, 1 each side. Low snap, pass across the middle, gets it there to Hollenkamp. He caught it. He's got first down yardage as he's finally tackled down at about the 17-yard line. And coming up to make that tackle was Snoop Blackman. But a first down for Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids came right back to the same play that they ran on the previous and were able to connect. It was just a difference of the receiver and the quarterback getting on the same page with their spacing.
So first down at the Storm 17-yard line. Handoff inside. Boom! Big hit as dropped down at about the 12-yard line. And coming to make the stop defensively, there was Gorman. But carrying the football for the Titans was Lawson Gale, but he paid the point, but he picked up about 6. Ball's resting down at about the 12-yard line. Second down, let's call it a long 5. A short 5, I should say. 2 in motion to the right side for the Titans. Here's the blitz by the Storm. Pass goes up to the left, and it's low, but brought in and caught down at about the 8-yard line. And making that reception downfield, Javon Bell. Third down and about a yard.
Cedar Rapids putting together a nice drive right here. the Storm defense is really kind of giving those underneath routes. With the short field right now, this is where the defense can compact things and use the space of the field to their advantage.
So now 3rd down and about a yard for the Cedar Rapids Titans, trailing the Storm 14-0. Keeper by the quarterback, Medlock. He veers it off to the left side. Has a couple bodies hanging on him as he drags them down inside the 5, down to about the 4, but that's a 1st down for Cedar Rapids on the 7th play of the drive.
Cedar Rapids is running a similar dive fake quarterback keep where he's reading the inside defensive tackle, or end in this case, with a 3-man front.
Lawson Gale to the right of quarterback Jake Medlock. They give it off to Lawson Gale. He follows the block, goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Cedar Rapids. As they come back, they were trailing 14-0, and they put together a drive from their own 11-yard line, and on the 8th play, take it into the end zone and scoring Lawson Gale. And that for him is his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. So the Titans, not intimidated at all, trailing by 14, have cut the lead in half. And now Medlock will put the ball down for Giorgetti's point after touchdown, and it's good. So with that, with 5:45 left to play in this first quarter, we're going to take a media timeout. It's the Sioux Falls Storm 14 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 7. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Waterbury Heating and Cooling and KSFY, right here on KWSN. Back right after this.
Robert Frost, yeah, I know that place.
1 minute, yes.
He's going to win. I have a feeling you're going to win.
Need a fun night out? Head over to Burnside Bingo for an exciting night of bingo. Budget-friendly, new equipment, and a fresh remodel. A variety of games to keep the excitement rolling all night, plus great food and drink specials. Try something new this week and check out the all-new Burnside Bingo. Visit burnsidebingo.com for special events and more information.
The Rosties wanted their new house to be unique, so they went back to Fireplace Pros. The upstairs is traditional, but the downstairs is very modern. They are delighted.
We wanted a different look and feel within our house, and Fireplace Pros, as always, helped us make it happen. They're the best.
Visit us on the web or stop by your nearest Heat and Glow or Heatalator dealer. Fireplace Pros, Heat and Glow, and Heatalator. You're gonna love the way your home feels.
If you like to bowl, roll on into East
with a touchdown run about 4 yards out. As carrying that was Raphael Lawson Gale. Point after touchdown by Giorgetti was good. 14-7, Sioux Falls Storm with a 7-point lead over the Cedar Rapids Titans. Now the Titans getting ready to kick off, and back to receive deep is Lorenzo White Jr. and also back there Lyle McCombs. And a high end-over-end kick. It's going to be McCombs a yard deep in the center. Takes it up to the right, stops, rights himself at the 10, gets it off the boards, crosses the 15. They're going to say out of bounds at the 14-yard line. They're going to say he was touched out of bounds there. So the Storm, with 5:39 to play in this first quarter, lead 14-7, and they have the ball first down and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
And this position on the field is generally where the Storm likes to take a shot. They've been able to establish their dive, their quarterback keep, read. So I'd be surprised if they don't take a shot deep somewhere in the next probably play or two. So they have it set up, or will they take the approach and just try to be physical and run the ball down the field, just taking what's there in the middle.
Brandon Wainwright is the linebacker, 6', 300-pounder. And he anchors that defensive line for the Cedar Rapids Titans. Lorenzo Brown, shotgun, pulls out the handoff, keeps it himself, goes right side. Cannot get away from Bramwell as Bramwell pulls him down after a gain of about 7 yards. It's going to set up second down and about 3 from the 21-yard line of Sioux Falls.
So the Storm is just trusting that they basically know that they are physical enough up front where they have the dive or the quarterback read. So what I mean by them giving it up the middle is they're not putting enough pressure with their defensive line to stop the run game right now.
Lorenzo Brown back to pass, trips and falls, And falling down on him is Wainwright, just to make sure Lorenzo Brown doesn't get up and run. Wainwright, he's a big one. 300 pounds went down on Lorenzo Brown, who weighs in at a svelte 205.
So this is a situation Cedar Rapids wants to be in right now. They created 3rd and 9 right now. So the Storm is back on their heels a little bit, where you're forcing them now to basically throw the ball.
Trips to the left side, 2 in motion. Lorenzo Brown, shotgun formation, gets the snap. He has time. Cox fires, looking upfield all by himself. German caught it at the 16-yard line, bounced off the wall, and winds up in the hands of Lindsay. Lindsay tackles him at about the 7-yard line, but Melvin German, the third, they call him Mank, out of Florida Atlantic with the big clutch first down reception, and the Storm back in business, 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
So he comes open on a deep crosser, and what you got to credit that, the success of that play is the offensive line really did a great job blocking. Lorenzo sat back there for 4 or 5 seconds. So the Storm now 1st down on the 7-yard line.
3:38 to play, first quarter. Handoff. This time it goes there to McCombs, and Bramwell's got him from the back and pushes him back, gets some help. And coming up to make support there was Ricardo Bell. He's got 3 sacks on the year, but McCombs takes it down to about the 2-yard line, gain of 5. No huddle for the Sioux Falls Storm, who do this by design. One coming through the box is McCombs. McCombs gets the handoff, tries to turn the corner, left side, bounces off the wall, into the end zone. Touchdown, Sioux Falls Storm. And Lyle McCombs gets in the end zone for the 3rd time this year, and the Storm up on top, 20-7.
I think you got to have credit on that one. Rashad Mungro playing the left tackle. He just basically sealed that edge defender and created a lane for the running back just to take it in easily for a 2-yard, 3-yard score.
Now the 3rd point after touchdown by Miles Bergner. 81% PAT kicker coming into this contest. He puts it up, and it's good. He's 3 for 3. And the Sioux Falls Storm lead over the Cedar Rapids Titans 21-7. And we'll be back in 1-minute timeout. And you're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by...
If you like to bowl, roll on into Eastway Bowl. Hey, wait a minute. Eastway Bowl is more than just bowling. It's a full of fun entertainment center. There's many things to do. Games, and more games, plus food. Great food. Come into our full-service sports bar and grill where you'll find terrific drinks with our popular late-night specials. Watch all your favorite sporting events at Eastway. Visit our website to make your bowling reservations and find out more about the full fun experience. Eastway Bowl and Entertainment Center, where there's something for everyone.
Waiting to see a doctor?
What's taking so long?
It can take a while.
I don't have time for this.
Or longer than a while.
We've been here 2 hours.
Forever.
Hello?
What would you say if there was another option?
Finally.
Yes.
It's about time.
We're inclined to agree. It's about time for the best patient care. Sioux Falls Urgent Care. Waiting to see a doctor?
What's taking...
Waiting to see a doctor?
For the 2nd time tonight, the Sioux Falls Storm up on top by 14 as they put together a 5-play drive, 36 yards, 2:34 off the clock. And Lyle McCombs goes in from 2 yards out. Bergner's point after touchdown is good. Storm leading 21-7. And now Bergner getting ready to kick off. Lindsay back to receive the kickoff. Daniel Lindsay, 6-footer, 190 out of Fort Hays State. And now Bergner going to kick from the right hash. 2:25 left to play in this first quarter. One other game going on. Green Bay is at Arizona. They'll be starting in about another 20 minutes or so. Here's the kickoff, and it goes way wide to the left side, goes out of bounds. Bergner pulled that one, so now by rule, it'll go out to the 25-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Titans.
The Storm would like to welcome the 90 members of Poet here tonight.
So the kickoff going out of bounds brings the ball to the 25, which is midfield and into our football.
Ball will be placed at the 25-yard line.
Bergner at first, his other kickoff went out of bounds. So any kicks after that go out of bounds, take it out right to the 25-yard line by rule. That's something that they didn't have that rule when you played.
No, and I think it's a good rule because you want to see a kick return. There's a lot of dangerous kick returners in the league, and it's an exciting play. But I alluded to it before, keeping the ball in front of you. A lot of times the Storm defense is they're designed to prevent the big play. They'll give you underneath routes. They'll use the field to their advantage, meaning deep in that back part of the end zone, the field gets small pretty quick when you get to about the 5 to 10 yard line. So your coverage scheme is designed to protect the middle of the field.
Here's a pass upfield. Is it intercepted? They're going to say no, it was trapped. As coming up to make that was Damon Smith, the new member of the Sioux Falls Storm. But they're going to say the play was incomplete. And now whether or not Coach Riggs will challenge it. Prior to that, there was a handoff by the Titans. Lawson Gale picked up about 4. It was down to the 21-yard line. And we'll wait and see if there's a red flag that comes out. Coach Riggs, the left-hander, he throws it out, lands it out about the 10-yard line. In his day, he could have thrown that the whole length of the field. But yeah, and challenge that.
The first replay I couldn't see because there was a player in view of the ball. But
is challenging that call. The previous play is under review.
So like I said earlier, Chad, any play, if each team, they have their vid swap camera or monitor in each bench area. And so they can see the replays that are being filmed right up next to us. So the coaches on the sidelines can look at that and they can call up that play and look at it themselves. Then they can tell Coach Riggs, yes, either to challenge it or to not challenge it. They do not use the video from the screen. They have their own vid swap monitor, and those are totally separate cameras that the officials will review. So that's why sometimes the officials are not seeing the same thing as what the fans see. And that could be positive or negative as far as how well they can see the play. So now the coaches are over there conferring. There is an assistant official that's in charge of the vid swap, and he's the one that will bring it out to the referee, Brad Bunting. Brad Bunting has the ultimate say as far as the challenge is concerned. Each team, each coach has 2 challenges. If you win 2 challenges, then you get a third. If you lose a challenge, you lose a timeout, and you will only get 1 more challenge the rest of the night.
And I like the implementation to indoor football. You're going to have a couple critical or crucial plays in a game which could go either way. This one being the Storm gets their second turnover of the game. You're in a 21-7 game where it's a turning point. Even though you have 14, you got Cedar Rapids coming in, so it's a critical momentum-changing play, and they're coming out with the call right now.
We'll take it out of the field.
On the previous play, when the linebacker went to intercept the ball came through his hands, hit the ground, then he completed the pass for the catch. The challenge is lost. Sioux Falls will also be charged a timeout.
And the locals here didn't like the call, which always happens. So it's going to be an incompleted pass. It's going to bring up third down. Third down and about 6 yards to go from the Sioux Falls Storm 21-yard line. Rich Rosty along with Chad Gamarco at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Again, Green Bay is at Arizona tonight. Iowa and Nebraska both have byes this week in week number 9 of the IFL season. Next week, Sioux Falls will be at Nebraska, Green Bay will be at Iowa, and Cedar Rapids will be traveling down to Arizona to take on the Rattlers. So now third down for Cedar Rapids. And this year they're about 40% on their third down conversion. Need to get down to the 15-yard line to pick up the first down. 2 in motion, left slot. Back to pass, Medlock fires it upfield, reception caught. Very close to a first down. No, they're going to say incomplete. Ball came out as he passed, as that was intended for Jordan Smith, incomplete.
He would have been just short on that one, as is about a yard short, but Storm defensive back, I think it was Lorenzo White, came up hard. What he did nice is he played through his hands towards the ball. So they're now in a 4th down, which they're going to go for it as they're on the 21-yard line.
28% efficient on 4th down are the Titans. Need to get to the 15-yard line. Medlock back to pass. Here's the blitz. Pump once, gets out of pressure, rolls to his left. Under pressure, he's going to have the ball stripped out of his hand. It's rolling free and clear. It's going to be recovered by the Sioux Falls Storm at about the 24-yard line of Cedar Rapids. And Claude Davis, I believe, got in and got the ball stripped out, but going down is the quarterback, Jake Medlock. And he is down. Gets himself up, but he had a lot of bodies all over him. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's looking for, or is he just trying to clear the cobwebs?
Yeah, he got flushed to his left, tried to cock back and throw right, and he just got thrown into the ground by Claude Davis. So he looks a little disorientated. I'm not sure what he's looking for. Does not have his helmet at this point.
And now a challenge flag has been thrown by Marvin Jones.
Sioux Falls left defensive end number 19 is out of his stance before the snap. The previous play is under review.
And that is exactly the way the rules are written, Chad, that you can challenge everything. You know, and if a defensive lineman is not in a three-point stance at the snap, that's an illegal defense. And that would nullify the turnover. So that's a good challenge as far as Marvin Jones is concerned.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you can challenge a penalty or a violation. Generally, it's you're challenging the catch of a ball. Was it caught? Were you in bounds?
Well, I think that what they wanted to do within the league, and visiting with the director of officials, Tom Falcinelli, earlier this year, the idea was to basically make this like a test case for challenging nationwide.
Yeah.
Number 19's hand was on the ground. Result of the play was a fumble recovery by Sioux Falls. First down, Sioux Falls. Cedar Rapids will be charged their first time out of the half. They lost their first challenge.
So and that's exactly what this was meant for, was to clear up everything and get it right.
And to some degree, it gives the referee or official some validation. For example, in this case, somebody's complaining about a violation that did not happen. You would think that would reiterate that they might hesitate before they react, or somebody, people generally tend to complain a lot, or coaches. So losing a timeout really costs your team too when you're making a complaint that's not necessarily viable.
So there is a timeout on the field. There are 7 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Sioux Falls Storm leading 21-7 over the Cedar Rapids Titans. This is the second turnover, as the Storm, Martin had caused the previous one. Storm converted that to a touchdown. Now Claude Davis has caused this fumble, and now Cedar Rapids backed against their wall again as they are on their, the 24-yard line, but this is after another turnover. And the Sioux Falls Storm don't let they don't even make an attempt for a play. They let the clock run out, so we played one. So after one quarter of play in Sioux Falls, it's the Sioux Falls Storm 21 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 7. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. You're listening to...
Waiting to see a doctor?
What's taking so long?
It can take a while.
I don't have time for this.
Or longer than a while.
We've been here 2 hours.
Forever.
Hello?
What would you say if there was another option?
All right. Yeah, we'll get caught up here, John. Yeah. Thank you.
Do you know who their backup quarterback is?
Storms?
No, Cedar Rapids.
Well, they haven't played anybody this season that Medlock has played the entire year at quarterback, so I don't know who they would bring in. He's standing in the locker or the team area.
Okay.
And welcome back to Storm Football. Rich Rosti along with Chad Gamarco. 21-7 after the end of the first quarter. The Sioux Falls Storm with the lead. And running down the statistics of that first half, Lorenzo Brown 1 for 1 in passing for the Storm, 28 yards. He has been sacked 1 time. Jake Medlock, 4 of 7, 26 yards, long of 11. No sacks, no touchdown. Total offense, 39 yards for Cedar Rapids, 88 for the Sioux Falls Storm. Lorenzo Brown in rushing for the Storm. 3 carries, a total of 47 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Lima Combs, 4 carries, 19 yards, and a score. And then for the Cedar Rapids Titans, Lawson Gale, 5 carries, 14 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Medlock, 2 carries for a total of -1. In receiving, Wade, 2 for 12 yards for the Titans, along with Hollenbeck, 1 for 10, and Bell, 1 for 4. And Melvin German has the 1 reception for the Sioux Falls Storm, a total of 28 yards. So after the change of the quarter, the Sioux Falls Storm will have the ball first down and 10 at the 24-yard line of the Cedar Rapids Titans. Lorenzo Brown puts 2 in motion, 1 each side. Shotgun formation, there's the snap, gives it off there to McCombs, and he goes left side, and he's got some room. Takes it down to about the 16-yard line, and gains about 8 yards on the play, and making a stop defensively, Daniel Lindsay.
And I think the Storm just decided to put the game in the offensive line's hands with a 14-point lead. Really just manage your game, run the ball. Still all about being physical up front and controlling the line of scrimmage.
Now Kareem Jones splits to the right side for the Sioux Falls Storm. Handle goes to McCombs, stumbles in the backfield. Going to be picked up and dropped down after a gain down to about the 13-yard line, but that's enough for the Sioux Falls Storm. First down, making a stop defensively. There was Ricardo Bell. But a first down at the 13-yard line of Cedar Rapids. Storm leading 21-7, 14:06 to play in this first half. Lorenzo Brown, shotgun formation, 2 in motion, handoff inside McCombs, got some opener, left side at the 10 to the 5, and pushed out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. Great big opening on the left side, wasn't there, Chad?
Yeah, and they just continue to go to the left side. They've everything they've done is to the left side, and they've just found that they're more physical and they can control that side of the line of scrimmage, and they're going to continue to go there as long as they're executing. And McCombs is running really well right now.
And the Storm going right after Ricardo Bell, who was the leading sacker, but they're going after that side of the defensive line. High snapped out of place, but they give it there to McCombs. He'll go around left side, but this time Ricardo Bell out there as a point of the attack makes a stop after a gain of about 2. So the ball's resting at the 1-yard line. Officially, they're going to give him 3 yards on the carry and a first down for the Sioux Falls Storm. Their second of this drive. Working off a fumble recovery, second turnover on a fumble for the Sioux Falls Storm. Now Jones splits deep to the right side. Line of scrimmage going to be Judd Harold. Mike Tatum also deep on the right side. McCombs in the backfield. Motion, line of scrimmage, flags come out. 12:42 to play in this first half, 21-7. It's the Sioux Falls Storm with the lead over the Cedar Rapids Titans. Here's Brad Bunting to tell us about the flag.
Offsides, defense, number 66, unabated. That penalty force half the distance, remains first down.
Going to flag that against Brandon Wainwright. Ball resting on the half-yard line. Clock rolls. 12:40 to play first half. 21-7. Sioux Falls Storm with the lead. Jones splits to the right side. Harold goes in motion right slot. Quarterback sneak by Lorenzo Brown. They're going to say he got in. Touchdown. Touchdown, Sioux Falls Storm. That's Lorenzo Brown's 3rd rushing touchdown in this contest. And a Storm up on top, 27-7. And Chad, when you get down into that end of the field, quarterback sneak, that's almost a given.
It's pretty much. I mean, your passing lanes aren't really big right now. They did have 4 or 5 guys but 4 or 5 guys within the box of the tackle box, and he just got right behind his lineman and pushed it in.
Bergner on the field to try his 4th point after touchdown. Kick goes up, and it's good. Bergner 4 for 4. And we'll pause for a 30-second timeout. 28-7, Storm with the lead over the Titans. Back right after this.
Breathe easier when you have your ducts cleaned by Waterbury. Call us today. Routine services can save you money in the long run. Call Waterbury to schedule yours today.
Your body is a complex arrangement of bone and tissue that requires only the best to maintain it. At Orthopedic Institute,
It's his 3rd rushing touchdown. This from a half a yard out. Point after touchdown by Bergner is good, 4 for 4. And the Sioux Falls Storm up on top by 21, their largest lead of the contest, 28-7. 28-7. 11:42 left to play in this first half. 28-7, the Sioux Falls Storm with the lead, and Lindsay back to receive the kickoff for the Cedar Rapids Titans. Miles Bergner out of the University of South Dakota advances and puts up a line drive knuckleball, kind of a floating spinning kick. Takes one bounce inbounds, goes over the backboard, and that by rule will move it out to the 5-yard line. First down and 10 for the Titans.
So as he kicked that ball, he set it up watermelon style and just bounced it right off the goal line through the back. So honestly, kicking, I always thought, Rich, in the indoor football league takes more skill than any other, level of football, college, NFL, because there's a lot of strategy to kicking in the corners. The goalposts are, believe 9 feet or 8 feet.
They're 10.
10 feet wide.
Yeah, in college they're 18.
Okay, so you're working with 8 less feet. So really the skill of kicking is to some degree greater in indoor football than outdoor football.
At the quarterback, Jake Medlock back on the field for the Cedar Rapids Titans. And he has Lawson Gay to his left. There's the snap. Fakes the handoff to Gay. Gets the pass. Left side gets it there to Hollenbeck. He's going to be wrapped up and dropped down at about the 11-yard line. And making a stop defensively for the Sioux Falls Storm. A new member of the Sioux Falls Storm, Desmond Reed. Check that. That is... Well, they've changed the number. That Desmond Reed had 34, but I believe that...
I think that was Damon Smith.
Damon Smith, yes.
Wearing 34.
Damon Smith, yeah, okay, I had him at 44, but that's 34. Change of jersey number prior to the game. Another handoff goes for a first down for the Cedar Rapids Titans. And they get it out. They're going to have the ball first down and 10 at the 17-yard line. So Desmond Reed, he's the linebacker. Fakes the handoff, does Medlock, and Gorman wraps him up after a gain of about 3. Ball resting at about the 20-yard line. Jabari Gorman of the University of Florida.
Gorman did a really nice job of stealing the outside and being a good edge defender from the defensive back position. Sometimes you're in a situation where you have to come up as a linebacker, which he did right there. So he holds him for a short gain.
Second down and about 7 yards to go from the 20-yard line of Cedar Rapids. Medlock dumps it across the middle, gets it there to Lawson Gale. He fights for tough yardage. He takes it up to about the 24-yard line of the Titans. Third down and about 3. Need to get to the 23-yard line of the Sioux Falls Storm to pick up the first down. 9:32 to play in this first half. And a whistle on the field. And we're going to pause for a timeout, so we'll pause for 1 minute. And you're listening to Storm Football right here on KWSN, brought to you by Sprint, Integrated Chiropractic and Rehab, along with Mattress Firm. And we'll be back in 1 minute. All right.
Hey guys, Bellator lightweight champion Michael Chandler here. I'm here at one of my favorite places in the entire world, the wrestling room. But if there's one thing we know about wrestling rooms, they can get extremely dirty. We're talking skin infections, we're talking about funk, we're talking about smelly armpits, we're talking about all kinds of stuff. So, my friends at Pure and Clean Sports came up with an awesome solution. Spray it right on your skin, wipe it off, smells great, keeps you clean from the time you leave the mats to the time you can get home and shower. Not only is it the greatest skin defense in the entire world, it's the safest. Check them out, pureandcleansports.com.
At Billion Hyundai, our knowledge.
Yeah, he's talking to some fans, yeah. Well, I think it. Well, back to Sioux Falls. The reason that we had a timeout, and someone had gotten sick on the field, so they're waiting for staff to get here to be able to clean that up. And so because of that, we're going to pause for another 1 minute timeout. Again, 9:32 left to play in this first half. Storm leading 28-7 over the Cedar Rapids Titans. Back in 1 minute. Yeah.
That's okay. You're still going to win. You'll get a free large pizza. You'll get a free couple games of bowling from Eastway, and everybody in section 110 gets a free game of bowling at Eastway Bowl. All you have to do is show your ticket stub Eastway this week.
Okay, I'd say let's take another 30 here, because they haven't gotten out here yet to clean it. Yeah.
Let's give him a hand, folks. He's saving the day.
All right, perfect. All right. And welcome back to Storm Football, as the custodial staff here at the Denny Sanford Premier Center on the field right now, cleaning up. One of the players had gotten sick on the field, and he's out there cleaning, and the fans gave him a nice round of applause as he went out on the field. The other game going on is Green Bay 0-5 is down to Arizona 5-1. That ball game just getting ready to kick off down in Phoenix. And we'll bring you up to date on scores throughout the evening relative to that ball game. But here in Sioux Falls, it's the Storm 28 and the Titans 7. And there's 9:32 left to play in this first half. 9:32 left to play in this first half. But Chad, you know, when these things happen, you just have to take care of them and move on.
Yeah, I think it's part of the game. I think everybody's pretty understanding of that type of thing. But, you know, back to the game on that, I think the Storm really, I'm impressed with how they've executed their game plan. They got a lot of new guys playing right now, specifically defensively. They seem to be coordinating their job responsibilities. They've kept the ball in front of them. I think even though you're ahead in a game, in this type of game, you're looking for certain individuals to step up and help them feel comfortable with it within the scheme of what you're doing on defense. And it gives them a chance, and it gives you as coaches a chance to evaluate different situations where you can challenge them. they can get better understanding of route concepts and how to cover. So even though the Storm right now are in a game 28-7, I think there's a lot they can take away from it. And just moving forward beyond one game is how do we improve from this situation?
Right now, Chris Martin for the Sioux Falls Storm went on to the field to help the custodian to clean up the debris that is on the field. And they're having some difficulty because it's somewhat absorbed into the carpet, the turf here at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. But Chris Martin goes out there to help the custodian with that, and appreciate him doing that. While we have a few moments, I wanted to send some shout-outs. I want to send a shout-out to Dan and Lisa Beto listening to the game down in Iowa. Also to Anna, Brennan, and Remy, also living down in Iowa, listening to the broadcast down there. Also send a shout-out to Dr. Dustin Ingalls at the Genesis Chiropractic. A great Storm fan, also has helped me greatly with different issues that I have been faced with, but Dustin Ingalls at Genesis Chiropractic. Also send a shout out, a get well shout out to Julie Bleckinger, who is back in the hospital, and she had been in the nursing home receiving some rehab from her fall that she had and the surgeries that she had, but she is back in the hospital, and we want to send our greetings out to her and wish for a speedy and full recovery for her from the injuries she received in that fall. Also, Lyle McCombs was the special teams player of the week last week. He had 106 yards in kickoff returns. Also had 69 yards in rushing, so congratulations, Lyle McCombs, the special teams player of the week this past week. The cleanup detail is getting closer to being completed here at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. And as soon as they have finished their duties, then we'll be getting back to football. There's 9:32 left to play in this first half. Storm leading 28-7. And you're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital, Craven Bar and Grill, along with Boyer Trucks and First Premier Bank. And the cleanup has been completed. Chris Martin helping to get the last bit of it swept up and cleaned up. And doing a good job out there. Everybody else is about 10 to 15 yards away from the ground zero.
Yeah, I think people are keeping their distance from this one. So
I feel sorry for the player that got sick. I'm not sure who it was. They have not been showing the instant replay, which is very gracious of the replay officials to not show it again. But anyways, Sioux Falls Storm up on top, 28-7 over the Cedar Rapids Titans. Next week, the Sioux Falls Storm are going to be heading down to Nebraska for a Friday night game. And we'll have that game right here on KWSN. Storm are going to be at Nebraska 7 o'clock on Friday. So we'll be traveling on Thursday down to Grand Island. Green Bay is going to be at Iowa on Saturday, and Cedar Rapids is going to be down in Arizona a week from tonight. We are ready to play football. It is third down and about 3 yards to go for the Cedar Rapids Titans at their own 24-yard line. Handoff goes in there to Lawson Gale, and he's got a first down at the 21-yard line of Sioux Falls. Snoop Blackman into the stop. Also there was Kwame Bell. So is that the Storm 21?
It's a really important drive for Cedar Rapids. I mean, you're down 3 scores, 9 minutes left. If you can finish the, get within reason, be down 14, 28, you're still in position to finish the game strong and come out with at least a halfway decent performance.
Medlock fires to the right side. Reception made to Bell. Javon Bell gets a reception, takes it down to the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 6. And Cedar Rapids, Chad, they have an excellent passing attack.
Yeah, they have a very athletic group of receivers. Right now, if they can just find some sort of rhythm in their offense and establish, they got the run game going a little bit. They're hitting their short passes. But if they can just stay consistent and execute.
They're down 28-7. Also had 2 fumbles that have been converted by the Storm. Medlock pumps once, now he rolls left, fires it up to the center, gets it there, and a reception made there to Wade. Wade takes it down inside the 5, and lots of bodies flying around down there. No flags come up, but that's a first down for the Titans. So Marquel Wade out of the University of Arkansas. Here the ballgame, 11 receptions for 135 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. Now Wade's going to split to the right side. Deep right's going to be Smith. Deep left, Bell. Pass into the end zone. Touchdown, Cedar Rapids, as they get that to Javon Bell. And for Bell, that's his 2nd receiving touchdown of the year.
Javon Bell's out at Texas Tech, so he's a very athletic player. They got a matchup one-on-one on the outside, so he runs a quick slant route, in route.
So from 4 yards out, Medlock gets it to Bell. Now the point after touchdown for Giorgetti. He puts this one up, and a flag comes out. And we have probably a roughing the passer, roughing the holder, not the passer, the kicker or the holder. And the official is going to talk it over. The kick, I believe, was good. But right now the score stands 28-13. Waiting for Brad Bunting to have his conference with his other officials. And here he is.
Running into the kicker penalty did not happen. He was blocked into it. Therefore, there's no flag for that. We have an illegal defense, number 47, not in a stance at the snap. We will retry.
So there was no roughing the kicker or running into the kicker, but there was illegal defense, so there's going to be a retry. A retry of the point after. Michael Giorgetti with a 68% proficiency in kicking, but head coach Marvin Jones is decided to chase the 2-point conversion instead. Nope, no, Giorgetti's coming back on the field. They had such a change of personnel, I thought they were going to go for it, but they are going to have Giorgetti try the point. He's made 1 point after, and this will be his 2nd attempt out of the hold of Medlock. Here's the kick, low driving kick. It's up and it is no good. It is wide to the left side, so the score stands 6:46 left to play in this first half. Storm 28-13 over the Cedar Rapids Titans. We'll pause for a 30-second timeout and be back. You're listening to Storm Football right here on KWSN.
Billion Hyundai, our knowledgeable staff is dedicated to finding you the right vehicle. Get to know us today. You'll be glad you did. Check out our great deals on new Hyundais, including the all-new 2018 Hyundai Sonata, our best Sonata ever. Or check out one of our incredible SUVs, like the new 2018 Hyundai Tucson or Santa Fe, all with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and Hyundai Assurance. See dealer for limited warranty.
Well, the Titans used 8 plays, went 45 yards, 4:20 off the clock. Medlock connected with Bell, 4 yards out, point after touchdown, no good. And the score stands 28-13, Sioux Falls Storm, 6:46 left to play till halftime. Stay tuned at halftime, we'll have all the stats for you and give an update on any score that has occurred down in Phoenix. Checking on it right now, Green Bay has the ball. They have just scored. The ball game is tied 6-6. Down in Arizona, Green Bay 0-5 on the year. The Rattlers on top of the IFL 5-1. Here's the kickoff. It's going to come down to McCombs. No, he lets it go over the backboard. And by rule, that'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. McCombs thought about going up after that one, but he did not, and he let it go over the backboards. So now the Sioux Falls Storm will have the ball first down and 10 at the 20.
Well, the Storm have been perfect on their drives, so right now they're up 28-13. They've scored all 4 drives, so they've been so efficient. Cedar Rapids, on the other hand, they're down 13-28, is looking to get a stop right here, something to pull them back closer into the game where, you know, they're at least within striking distance of having a chance to finish out the half.
So now the Sioux Falls Storm. First down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Coach Riggs rearranging his players. Judd Harold on the line to the left, 2 in motion, left, deep. Back to pass, Lorenzo Brown. Gonna go deep, down there is Jones, he caught it, backs into the end zone, touchdown, Sioux Falls Storm. Welcome to the Sioux Falls Storm, Kareem Jones.
Great play action pass there. So they fake the dive. They hit Kareem Jones on the left side, wide open for a touchdown after just a quick hitch and go.
So Lorenzo Brown gets his first passing touchdown of the contest. And that's his 16th of the year. And Kareem Jones gets his first touchdown in a Storm uniform. 30-yard touchdown completion. And now the point after touchdown by Bergner is up. And it's good. So Bergner 5 for 5. Point after touchdowns. The Sioux Falls Storm move up on top. 35-13. 35-13. 5:31 to play in this first half. We'll pause for 30 seconds. This is Storm football.
Need a fun night out? Head over to Burnside Bingo for an exciting night of bingo. Budget-friendly, new equipment, and a fresh remodel. A variety of games to keep the excitement rolling all night, plus great food and drink specials. Try something new this week and check out the all-new Burnside Bingo. Visit burnsidebingo.com for special events.
Welcome back to Sioux Falls. And the Sioux Falls Storm, one play. Lorenzo Brown to Kareem Jones, 30 yards out. Point after touchdown by Bergner is good. And the Storm lead 35-13. 22-point lead for the Sioux Falls Storm, their largest lead of the contest. Now Bergner getting ready to kick off to Lindsay, standing back at his own 3-yard line. No other update, 6-6 last we had down in Green Bay at Arizona. Bounding kick fielded there by the Titans. And waiting for the number to clear, and picking that up was James Calhoun. And it was a bounding kick. He got it at about the 17-yard line. Looking on the field, no flags that I can see. So it's going to be at the 17-yard line for the Cedar Rapids Titans. 5:30 left to play in this first half.
Unsportsmanlike on Cedar Rapids. Number 44, that penalty force half the distance. This is number 44's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
And I thought I had seen a flag, but I just couldn't see it when I looked down. But there was an unsportsmanlike penalty. That's the first one. If a player gets 2 of them, Chad, then they are ejected from the game.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule. I mean, it keeps the game clean. And you just have to do it. I mean, the one thing that can hurt you, though, with a limited lineup and limited roster size.
Midluck tries to get a quick pass to the left side to Hollenbeck at about the 6-yard line. It is incomplete, and it sets up second down and 10 from the Cedar Rapids 7-8-yard line.
With limited roster size, and, you know, as you're carrying a linebacker, or, you know, you don't have a lot of guys to fill in, so sometimes you may be required to bring in an offensive player to play that position. So, you know, being available is a big part of it in indoor football league, and that's why you want to have guys that are versatile.
4:52 to play till halftime. Medlock gets it off there to Gail Lawson, takes a big hit, kind of bounced off that, but came down from the contact, and making a stop defensively for the Sioux Falls Storm there, Marlon Moore. 5'10", 195-pounder out of Northern Illinois. But it's a gain of 5. It's going to be a 3rd down and 5 from the Cedar Rapids 13. Smith deep to the right side. Also deep on the right side, Wade. They both go in motion. Medlock, and a flag comes out again.
Play.
And waiting for the official to tell us all about it.
Prior to the snap infraction on the offense, number 65, 5 yards from the previous spot, remains 3rd down.
Brad Bunting, referee, the white hat for the contest tonight here in Sioux Falls. 4:13 left to go till halftime. 35-13. The Sioux Falls Storm with the lead. And the Cedar Rapids Titans face now with 3rd down and 10. Need to get out to the 18-yard line to pick up the 1st down. Trips to the right side. Medlock, back to pass, short drop. Cranks fires upfield, incomplete. Try to get to Smith, and he is hit by White. Lorenzo White Jr. just joined the Sioux Falls Storm a week and a half ago. He makes a stop, and it's going to set up 4th down and 10.
Lorenzo White's one of those new guys. He's playing really well tonight. I mean, he played right through the ball on that, knocked it down. They're going to decide. I thought they were going to go for it on 4th down right here, but it looks like they're bringing their kicker in.
Michael Giorgetti out of Fairleigh Dixon University. And his long this year is only 23, but he has to put this one down. Put this one down at the 1-yard line. 57-yard attempt. And
he's going to have a chance to return right here.
As the kick goes down about the 5-yard line, Gorman takes it across the 10 to the 15, wrapped up. No, he slips out of that tackle. Jitterbugs his way out to about the 20-yard line. And that's where the Sioux Falls Storm going to have the ball, 1st down and 10. Jabari Gorman with the return.
That's a really interesting play because in indoor football, when you're attempting a field goal, it's a returnable play, which a lot of times just based on the personnel on the field, it's a good opportunity. You'll see a lot of those return for touchdowns or create good field position for your offense. So the Storm will now start at the 20-yard line.
So a 57-yard attempt. Basically, the kicker was just trying to get it out of bounds. Couldn't quite get it. And Gorman took it at about the 7-yard line, returned it up to the 20. And now the Storm, 2:52 left to play till halftime. Have the ball, 1st down and 10 at their own 20. Tatum splitting to the left side. Deep left is going to be German and Harold. Waiting for the snap. Change of quarterback. Going for the end zone. Down there. It is caught. Touchdown. As coming in to be quarterback was Dylan Turner. And he is 3 for 3. 3 touchdown passes in 3 pass attempts as he got that down to Judd Harold. Oh my.
Well, he comes in, he just throws a deep route to Judd. It's a 50-50 ball. Judd did a great job of positioning his body in the corner of the end zone to come down with the catch. So they go up 41-13 with the extra point attempt on the way.
But that's 3 quick strike touchdowns for the Sioux Falls Storm in this contest. And Dylan Turner comes on the field. I wanted to make sure before I said it. I couldn't tell by where he was standing. But he comes in, cranks it out for a 30-yard touchdown completion. Storm up on top, 42-13. And we'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Fireplace Professionals, Waterbury Heating and Cooling, Coleman Heating and Air Conditioning, along with KSFY TV back in 30.
The Rosties wanted their new house to be unique, so they went back to Fireplace Pros. The upstairs is traditional, but the downstairs is very modern. They are delighted.
We wanted a different look and feel within our house, and Fireplace Pros, as always, helped us make it happen. They're the best.
Visit us on the web or stop by your nearest Heat & Glow or Heatalator dealer. Fireplace Pros, Heat & Glow, and Heatalator. You're gonna love the way your home feels.
And he completes a one-play touchdown drive to Judd Harrell, 30 yards out. Point after touchdown by Bergner is good. The Storm up on top, 42-13. Here's a line drive kick, bounces inbounds, then over the back wall. And by rule, Cedar Rapids will have the ball at the 5-yard line.
And they're having a hard time feeling it. He kicks it sideways off the tee, and it's a really hard kick to field. So ideally, when you bounce that out, you get the ball at the 5, which is the best field position you're typically going to get on kickoff. So doing a nice job with the kickoff coverage. 1:45 left in the half right now, and Cedar Rapids starts on their own 5-yard line.
Update out of Phoenix. It's Arizona Rattlers 13 and Green Bay 6. 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter. And now the Titans trailing the Sioux Falls Storm 42-13. And Medlock, quarterback, shotgun, standing on his own goal line, bouncing pass back to him on the hike. He picks it up, throws it upfield through the hands of the intended receiver up there, Marquell Wade, at about the 15-yard line, incomplete. And we're at the 1:18 mark. Clock is counting when we get to the 1-minute warning, then plays into the boards, incompleted passes, and first downs. Time enough to move the chains will all stop the clock. And we're down to 1:03 and counting, and I don't think that they'll get this play off. They will not. So we have 1 minute left to go in this first half. The Storm 42 and the Titans 13. We'll pause for 1 minute. You're listening to Storm Football, and it's brought to you by Billion Hyundai, Scott's Lumber and Supply Company, along with Beal Distributing and Budweiser. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is KWSN.
If you like to bowl, roll on into Eastway Bowl. Hey, wait a minute. Eastway Bowl is more than just bowling. It's a full of fun entertainment center. There's many things to do. Games, and more games, plus food. Great food. Come into our full-service sports bar and grill where you'll find terrific drinks with our popular late-night specials. Watch all your favorite sporting events at Eastway. Visit our website to make your bowling reservations and find out more about the full fun experience. Eastway Bowl and Entertainment Center, where there's something for everyone.
Waiting to see a doctor?
What's taking so long?
It can take a while.
I don't have time for this.
Or longer than a while.
We've been here 2 hours.
Forever.
Hello?
What would you say if there was another option?
Finally.
Yes.
It's about time.
We're inclined to agree. It's about time for the best patient care. Sioux Falls Urgent Care.
Football, 1 minute left to go till halftime. It's the Sioux Falls Storm 42 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 13. And with 4:46 left to go in the first quarter, down in Arizona, the score 13-6 Rattlers over the Green Bay Blizzards. And Coach Roberson in his first ball game as the head coach of the Green Bay Blizzard. And very best to him as he starts his new career as a head coach there in Green Bay. Storm Football is brought to you right here on KWSN by Orthopedic Institute, Rod's Property Management, along with Sprint and Integrated Chiropractic and Rehab. 1 minute left to go till halftime. 42-13. Sioux Falls Storm with the lead over the Cedar Rapids Titans. Cedar Rapids this year giving up about 52 points a contest, and that is the most points per game allowed by any team in the IFL. The Sioux Falls Storm, on the other hand, they allow 36.7, and that's number 3 in the IFL. Now the Titans have second down and 10 from their own 5-yard line. Handoff goes inside to Lawson Gale, and he's going to fight for tough yardage out to about the 10-yard line. Making a stop defensively there was Desmond Reed, the linebacker for the Storm.
They're going to go hurry up here, so they're 44 seconds left. They're trying to get to the line of scrimmage, going quick huddle or no huddle.
Medlock puts 2 in motion, both sides, back to pass. Dumps it off. No, did the ball just come out? They're going to say incomplete. Yes, incomplete. It was tipped, and no fumble. That would have been the 3rd by the Titans had that been a fumble, but incomplete pass is the ruling. So it's going to bring up 4th down, and I still think that Medlock does not look well.
No, he's not sharp, and he's really not very quick or sharp on his reads right now. So specifically against the Storm defensive front, they apply so much pressure that if you don't release the ball quick out of your hands, you're going to you're going to create sacks, fumbles, poor decisions. So 4th and 5 right now here, 30 seconds left.
And Medlock took a big hit earlier in this ball game. 4th down and 5. Flag on the field, and we have a penalty coming up, I believe, against Cedar Rapids. If it had been defensive penalty, they'd have run the play out. Here's Brad
Prior to
Bunting.
snap, ball start, offense, number 7, 5 yards, remains 4th down. There's no 10-second runoff because the clock was not running.
Medlock's taken a couple big hits. He took one early in the first quarter, mid-quarter, and now later in the second quarter right now. But the first one to his upper body, now it looks like he's limping a little bit. His body language, he's carrying himself with his head down. So he just kind of has a look of frustration right now.
So Giorgetti's on the field to try a field goal. This would be 58, about a 60-yarder. And the Storm have one back to receive in case it's short, but Giorgetti tries to kick it out to the side, but it does not make it. And it's going to be Gorman at the 10, 15, 20, 25, 20. 15, 10, stop, reverses direction, cuts back to the inside, going to be wrapped up and dropped down at the 10-yard line, and making a stop defensively, Brandon Wainwright. But the field goal did not go out of bounds, so it was returnable, and Jabari Gorman returns it all the way down to the 10.
So 15 seconds left in the half.
So the Storm will have the ball at the 10-yard line of Cedar Rapids. 1st down and goal with 15 seconds left to go till halftime. Cedar Rapids won the toss, and they elected to defer, so they'll get the ball to start the second half.
Storm have 2 timeouts right now, so they really have time for 3 plays here.
So at quarterback, Dylan Turner. He's going to take a quarterback draw up the center, puts his head down, takes it all the way down to about the 5-yard line, and making a stop defensively for the Titans. There was Moses White, the linebacker.
Falls. Their second charge.
5 seconds run off the clock, so they run it down to 10 seconds. I would be thinking they're looking at taking a shot at the end zone either right now or taking advantage of the run-pass option on 2nd down with 10 seconds left, and then maybe throwing one up at the end of the half.
10 seconds left to go in this first half clock. 42-13, the Sioux Falls Storm with the lead over the Cedar Rapids Titans. Dylan Turner out of Dakota Wesleyan on the field now as the Sioux Falls Storm quarterback. He raises cattle in his home state of Missouri. And while he's here in South Dakota, he works for the South Dakota Game Fish and Parks Department. So now Dylan Turner, 6'2", 220-pounder, rookie. And he's going to have McCombs split to his left side. 2 in motion left. Ball's kind of tipped up in the air. Turner's just going to have to take it and carry it. And he's going to be wrapped up there by Ricardo Bell. And the clock rolls down to the 6-second mark And the Sioux Falls Storm called their final timeout. So we'll keep it right here for the final 6 seconds of this half. Storm has the ball at the 6-yard line.
One difference between Turner and Brown is Turner goes shotgun. Brown is more comfortable under center. So Turner comes in, he gets a bobble of that snap with that read option. He sets about 3 to 4 yards back, where Lorenzo tends to go under center and they run a lot more fly sweeps and dives. So one just small change in the offense with him on the field versus Lorenzo Brown.
Here's an update from Arizona. The Rattlers now lead 20-6 at the end of the first quarter. 20-6 Rattlers over Green Bay. Dylan Turner gets his shotgun snap, back to pass, rolls right, looking end zone ball, tipped down, knocked out of the way by Moses White, the linebacker out of Shaw University, 6'1", 230-pounder. There's 1 second. 1 second left to go on the first half clock, and that'll be enough time for the Sioux Falls Storm to bring in Miles Bergner for a field goal. Incompleted passes during the inside the 1 minute timing rules. The clock stops on incompleted passes. So the Storm had no timeouts remaining, but the incompleted pass stops it. And now Bergner is going to put this one down at about the 13, make this about a 21-yard field goal attempt. Out of the hold of Lorenzo Brown. The kick by Bergner is up, and it is good. And the Sioux Falls Storm will go to halftime, leading by a score of 45-13. 45-13 at halftime, and we'll pause for 2 minutes. And when we come back, we'll have the halftime show, bring you up to date on the stats, keep track of the score down in Phoenix, and anything else that we can come up with at halftime. But you're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Mattress Firm, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital, along with Craven Bar and Grill right here on FM 98.1, AM 1230, Sports Radio, KWSN.
Thank you, JJ. Everybody, look up at the center hung scoreboard here in a second. See that hat? We're about to give away 400 of them. Right now. First thing you gotta do though is take out your phone. Go to Facebook. Find the A and B business page. Like it. Then go down to the Storm info booth at the front table. Show them that you liked it, and you get a hat. It's that simple. It's a really nice hat too, and it's all courtesy of A and B Business. So again, go to Facebook, like the A and B Business page. Go down to Allison at the Storm info booth, show her that you've done so. The first 400 people to do so will get a free hat courtesy of A and B Business Solutions. Storm fans, please welcome to the field. Over 100 young Storm fans who spend all morning learning routines and having a blast. It is your 2018 Sioux Falls Storm Junior Lightning Girl!
And hi, everybody. Rich Frosty along with Chad Gamarco at the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The score at halftime, it's the Sioux Falls Storm 45 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 13. We have an update down in Phoenix as the Green Bay Blizzard have scored. It is 20-12. 20-12. Green Bay winless this year. Arizona Rattlers, the #1 team in the IFL with a 5-1 record. But Green Bay got the point after, so it's 20-13. 20-13, the the Arizona Rattlers leading by 7 over the Green Bay Blizzards. We'll keep an eye on that. There is 14:52 to play till halftime down in Phoenix. But again, with me in the broadcast booth, Chad Gamarco, played with the Sioux Falls Storm back in 2001 and to 2003. Do you still, even though you're coaching, you're training, you're doing a lot of things like that, still get the urge to put the helmet on one more time?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience for me, and I think if you were ever capable to play and enjoyed playing, I think you're always going to have that desire to want to play. I had a great experience, so I mean, you know, I don't think anybody really ever wants to give it up.
Yeah.
So for me, really, my career was shortened just by injury. My body kind of didn't hold up as long as I would have wanted to, but and that leaves a desire to still want to play. And the atmosphere here and to be a part of the whole experience. I mean, things have changed from playing over at the arena to here, 2 different environments. But,
oh, my, yes.
You know, the rush and the thrill of being on the field. And as you notice, watching, really the speed on the field is so fantastic. When you talk about the speed of players condensed on a smaller field, the game speed is really fast in indoor football. I mean, obviously you have players that can run, move, but when you condense that down into a 50-yard by a 26-yard width, the windows, the holes are really fast, and there's a lot of opportunities to make plays, which made it fun as well.
The thing about it is when you talk about the speed of the game, and it also equates positively to officials. Many officials that work indoor football and have worked arena football have had sometimes a better opportunity to advance in their officiating outside of indoor football because they are used to the speed of the game being elevated. And when they go to the 11-man outdoor product, the game has slowed down for them. So actually the training ground for officials in the Indoor Football League has really been a benefit to them also. In fact, last year, I know one of the officials out of the Des Moines area worked in the national championship NCAA game, Alabama, and was it Clemson or whoever they played? There was a guy from the crew out of Des Moines. There was guys from many different crews within the IFL officiating ranks that were in major bowl games of the NCAA, which is really a credit to them and what they've learned here, and have taken that skill into those big arenas and those big, not arenas, but when I talk about arenas, the big stadiums and the big showcases, they played out very well for them.
Yeah, and I think just the exposure to different types and styles where essentially you're challenged for growth. And, you know, there's quick routes, there's different route schemes. If you can train yourself to see the game differently, you're developing or improving your skill level. The other thing that's different that is where your windows are is they're small, they're tight.
Oh, yeah.
And, for example, I mean, when I played in college, my best route was a post corner. When you play indoor football, basically your post corner is a backside post route. The other thing that is different is you're generally taught to run full speed to a spot. Indoor football, when you get your window, you got to learn how to turn the volume up, turn the volume down.
Oh,
meaning you find that window, if you run all the way across, you're going to run into a backside corner or linebacker. So really the skill of getting to a spot, finding a window with your quarterback is one thing that I noticed was significantly different from the outdoor game. And I'm talking more specifically from an offensive standpoint, but from a defensive standpoint, from a defensive backs, you also have receivers in motions.
Right.
They'll cross. So you got to be more efficient in getting your back pedal. You got to be more efficient at your pre-snap read, route design. So there's a lot of factors that in some ways will help you improve your skill level. Sometimes the talent and the athleticism are different variables, but, the indoor game, that speed of a player also defensively is training yourself to see the route and the pattern and design of the play concept. So, you know, coming back to your question, would I want to play? Is it fun? I think that it's if you ever had the ability to play, and we're in that situation where you're fortunate enough to play.
Yeah.
I mean, the game has evolved so much that it's hard to not want to be a part of that. Specifically, even if you watch the run pass options and the play design, and I mean, you're seeing guys what they've learned coaching wise, and coming back to Coach Riggs. If I look at things they're doing now and how he understands how to set players up and design an offense, it's evolved so much that as an offensive player specifically, it's hard not to be excited about that. The opportunities and just how explosive offensive are in this time.
You know, and I think back, going back to my last year that I played collegiate football, and I marvel at how many years that is ago, but it was 44 years ago since I put on a helmet.
Yep.
At that time, and this was at the University of Minnesota Big Ten school, our largest offensive lineman was 6'4", 275 pounds. I was an offensive guard at 6 foot, 235. Those guys don't even show up that size at a running back. They're bigger than that.
Yeah,
I mean the people, the bodies of players are just massive in comparison to what it was 44 years ago.
Yeah, and I just think the evolution of the game, and also with that size, I mean, those guys would be kind of tweeners right now.
Yeah.
Are you a linebacker? Are you a defensive end? But really the development that guys are getting early, their skill.
Yeah.
I mean, that's changing the way the game is played. In some ways, I think good. I mean, I think guys get more specific. To some degree, I still, you know, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but, you know, being versatile is always going to be a skill. Being physical is always going to be something that, you know, you're going to have opportunities or create opportunities for yourself. So in the ways the game hasn't changed is you still have to be physical. You still have to be versatile. You really have to be a multi-directional athlete. You need to be able to change direction, change speeds, react to the ball.
It doesn't hurt to be fast.
Help.
You know, there's one thing there's two things they can't teach you. That's to be 6'8". You can't teach that. And a guy is just fast. You can help him with technique. You can help him with training. But some guys are just faster. And those are the two things that if you have those, you're going to play football somewhere.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing is you look at young athletes or people that would want to pursue playing beyond.
Yeah.
You develop the skill, and you really just hope you're blessed with the God-given ability to do certain things on the field. Obviously, having that discipline, having the consistency, putting forth the effort is going to give you a chance. But some of the, you know, really control the controllables is what you're looking at. But when you watch a game right now, there's guys with so many skills, so much athleticism, so much speed. There's really a lot of guys in this game that aren't too far removed from playing at a higher level.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, we're going to pause for a 2-minute time. I'll come back. We'll have the statistics for you and some very special shout-outs. And we'll pause for a timeout. But the score at halftime, it's the Sioux Falls Storm leading over the Cedar Rapids Titans big time, and we'll be back right after this. Okay.
Rich, you don't happen to have a headset he can listen on, do you?
Let's see if we can. Okay.
He's looking. He's looking. It's fine if you don't.
I'll try to get you an extension cord here.
Okay. Here we go.
Say, John, go ahead and take another minute commercial. I've got to get something done here.
He's going to try to find an extension cord for you.
Have him bring his chair over here.
Pierce, bring your chair over here. Here you go. This stretch is pretty far, I think. Right here.
Oh.
Got it right there.
And welcome back to Storm Football. Rich Rosty along with Chad Gramarco, and the Sioux Falls Storm leading at halftime 45-13. 45-13. And the Sioux Falls Storm, or Cedar Rapids, had won the toss, and they elected to defer to the second half. And so they'll get the ball to start this second half. Now checking on that score down at Arizona, it is 23-13. 23-13, and just let him know that's the volume control for his headset. Have a visitor in our press box. Chad Camarco's son is here, and just having him get all set up so he can hear the broadcast, hear his dad on the radio. But the score at halftime, 45-13, the Sioux Falls Storm with the lead over the Cedar Rapids Titans. Running down the statistics of that first half, total offense, 94 yards for Cedar Rapids, 175 for the Sioux Falls Storm. Lorenzo Brown, 3 of 3 in passing. He has 2 passing touchdowns. As far as the Titans are concerned, Jake Medlock, 9 of 16. 57 yards, 1 touchdown, along of 11. I believe that there's a misprint in the statistics. They have Dylan Turner 0 for 1 in passing, but he had 1 pass that was for a touchdown to Judd Harold. Leading tackler for the Sioux Falls Storm, Jabari Gorman. He has a total of 5. Kwame Bell has a total of 4.5. And Reed has 2 fumble recovers, also a broken pass in that first half. Leading tackler for the Cedar Rapids Titans, Brian Wainwright, 3.5 tackles, also has a sack, a tackle for loss, and Ricardo Bell has a total of 1 tackle for loss. I want to send some other shout-outs, but I understand there's a big Storm viewing party out in Hoven, South Dakota. The whole neighborhood is gathering to watch the Storm game, hosted by Dean Simon. Have fun out there, and here's a shout out to all of you. Then this week, the Sioux Falls Storm Nation lost a longtime member. Wendy Long of Del Rapids died Thursday from complications of pancreatic cancer at the age of 65. Wendy was a nurse who often would change her work schedule to make sure she didn't miss a Sioux Falls Storm home game. The Storm organization extends their most sincere sympathies to the entire Long family, and for me personally, I add my own condolences to her son and daughter-in-law, Rocky and Elizabeth. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of you. Also a shout out to Roger and Maxine Brink down in Nebraska, and to Dan Elisabetto and Anna, Brennan, and Remy, all listening down in Iowa. Score at halftime, 45-13. The Sioux Falls Storm leading over the Cedar Rapids Titans. And in rushing, wanted to get those stats for you. Lorenzo Brown, 4 carries, a total of 48 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Lionel Combs, he has 8 carries, 42 yards, and 1 score for the Sioux Falls Storm. For the Titans, Lawson Gale, 9 carries, total of 35 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Jake Medlock has a total of 3 carries, a net for 2 for the night. But again, in passing, Medlock, 9 of 16, 57 yards, 1 touchdown, Long of 11. And Lorenzo Brown, 3 of 3, 80 yards, a couple passing touchdowns. We'll pause for another 2-minute timeout and come back with more of the halftime show, but the score, it's the Sioux Falls Storm 45 and the Titans of Cedar Rapids 13. And you're listening to Storm Football right here on FM 98.1 AM 1230 Sports Radio KWSN. Back in 2 minutes. All right, good. See, Chad, if he might have room to get up by the table with that.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Then you can see, buddy.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, fantastic. And welcome back to Storm Football. Rich Rosty along with Chad Gamarco. The score at halftime, Sioux Falls Storm 45 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 13. You're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Boyer Trucks, First Premier Bank, Fireplace Professionals, along with Waterbury Heating and Cooling and Coleman Heating and Air Conditioning, all here in Sioux Falls. The standings going into this weekend, the Arizona Rattlers 5-1 on the season, followed by the Storm and Iowa Barnstormers are tied at 4-2. Nebraska 4-3 on the year. Cedar Rapids 1-5. Green Bay 0-5 on the season, but there's interesting stuff going on down in Green Bay, or check that, down in Phoenix, as Green Bay is 7 points. Check that, 10 points now. Arizona had another field goal, and they have not been putting up touchdowns, what many people thought they would, against Green Bay. And waiting for the screen to update, but it is a 10-point lead for Arizona. They have the ball, 3:58 to go till halftime. Arizona 23, Green Bay 13. And again, Coach Roberson in his first game as the head coach of the Green Bay Blizzard. Of course, Kevin Guy, 10-year coach with the Arizona Rattlers, very successful coach in the Arena Football League, and also as the current champion of the IFL. His team defeated the Sioux Falls Storm last year and have defeated the Sioux Falls Storm twice this year. The last one just this past Monday, as it was 48-40 Arizona over the Sioux Falls Storm. Last Monday, that game was scheduled for the previous Saturday, but because of the blizzard that went through the upper Midwest, that game was played on Monday. Arizona got within 30 miles on their plane from landing, and the airport here in Sioux Falls closed, so they had to fly all the way back to Arizona. Had they been able to land, the game would have been played regardless on Saturday, regardless how many people would have been in attendance, because Arizona was here. But Arizona was able to fly back, get another flight for Sunday, fly up here on Sunday, then played the game Monday, went back on Tuesday, so they've had a lot of time in the air, and maybe that's been a part of the factor that they are only leading the Green Bay Blizzard at the 3:58 mark of the second quarter, 23-13. 23-13. The teams are back on the field at halftime. 45-13. The Sioux Falls Storm with the lead. Chad Gamarka with me in the broadcast. And Chad, you do a lot of training with athletes right now, don't you?
Yeah, I train athletes. I train people just working on general health and wellness, and really just trying to help people overall improve their lifestyle.
Last seconds of the halftime are winding down, and the Arizona Rattlers leading over the Green Bay Blizzard 23-13 down in Phoenix. Here in Sioux Falls, it's a Storm 45-13 over the Titans. And the Titans will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. Kicking off for the Sioux Falls will be Miles Bergner out of University of South Dakota. Had a tryout with the New Orleans Saints. They were in their rookie mini camp. In 2017, played for the Colorado Crush. And when he was in college, he played at the U.S. Army All-American game. And he also has the longest kick this year in the IFL with 45 yards. Works as an electrician at the Washington Pavilion here in Sioux Falls. Now Lindsay is back to receive the kickoff from Bergner. Storm up on top, 45-13. Had a delay earlier in this ballgame. One of the players got sick on the field, and took some time for that to be cleaned up, but since that time, no other further issues. That play was not under further review. 15 minutes on the third quarter clock, and Bergner puts a low driving knuckleballer, takes the bounce, fielded there by Lindsay, 1 yard deep, up the center, 5-10, left side 15, stops, gets away from Gorman for a little bit, but then he's going to be pushed out of bounds by Marlon Moore at the 23-yard line of Cedar Rapids. And that's where they will start this campaign, first down and 10.
Nice return by Lindsay. Gives Cedar Rapids a nice starting position. They will start the ball from the 23-yard line. So they need any spark they can find right now to get back in this game. Down 13-45 to start the second half.
So the Titans working from their own 23-yard line. And there's 14:46. Clock is counting. Third quarter for Cedar Rapids. And Medlock at quarterback to his right. Lawson Gale. He gets the handoff. Kind of tripped up in the backfield, but he kept his balance long enough to pick up about 3 yards. Check that up to about 5, all the way into Storm territory. Mark it down at about the 22-yard line.
Lawson's gave him pretty good production out of the running back position right now. With their top running back, Tyler Thomas, gone or leaving the team, he's really had a pretty nice game.
And now this time quarterback Medlock going to change the play, telling his wide receivers to the left. He'll stay in shotgun formation with Lawson Gale to his left. Back to pass, fires it across the middle. Oh, could have been picked off, should have been picked off by Snoop Blackman. He knows that he's got his head down on the carpet right now. Pass a little bit behind him, but he had a pick all lined up, could not bring it in. Third down and about 5 for Cedar Rapids at the Storm 22.
Blackman's, that's his second opportunity at a pick tonight too, so he's right there. I think he's going to come back later on. I think he's going to get one later on.
So now third down and about 5. Medlock fires it across the middle, gets it there to Bell. Bell's going to be ridden down, going to be very close to a first down. Whether or not he made it, they're going to say no. Fourth down and less than a yard to go. Javon Bell thought he had the first down, but it's fourth down and about a yard at the 18-yard line of Sioux Falls. So now fourth down. Fourth down and about a yard to go for the Titans at the Storm 18-yard line. There's a snap, fakes the handoff, back to pass. Medlock throws for the end zone, throws behind the intended receiver. We have a flag. Flag on in the secondary. Got to be thinking that, Chad, against the defense.
Yeah, I think they probably are going to look at the defensive interference, possibly holding. The receiver basically broke off on a fly route or a hitch and go route, and I think that is going to be
defense. Number 34. That penalty being forced at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Call that against Damon Smith, the second out of the University of South Alabama, new member of the Sioux Falls Storm, just signed this week. Also, Desmond Reed, a linebacker, just signed this week. So after the penalty, puts it down to the 6. First and goal at the 6-yard line. Medlock back to pass, pumps once, hit from behind, dropped at the 10-yard line. And a late flag comes out, and making that stop is Chris Martin. But we got a flag farther downfield. Some extracurricular activity, I believe.
No, Medlock, he's a very efficient passer, but he tends to hold the ball a little bit long once in a while too, and against a pressure defense, it really leads to, inefficient play selection where he's taking sacks where he shouldn't. So
quarterback sack at the 10-yard line. After the play is over with, we have an unsportsmanlike number 65 on Cedar Rapids. That penalty enforced 15 yards from the end of the run. The down counts will be second down. That is also number 65's first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
So one more, then he will be ejected or disqualified for the rest of the contest. So the penalty pushes it back to the midfield stripe, the 25-yard line, and it is second and goal from the 25. And now head coach Marvin Jones talking to Brad Bunting, the referee, and also the side judge about the last play. 12:16 to play in this third quarter, 45-13. 45-13 is the score. Sioux Falls Storm with the lead. And now we've got the play ready to go, and they'll wind the clock. 12:14 to play, third quarter. Storm leading 45-13. Rich Rosty along with Chad Camarco at the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls. An update down in Phoenix, the Rattlers 30, Green Bay 13. Second and goal from the 25. Medlock back to pass, dumps it across the middle, gets it there to Lawson Gale. He makes a huge move at the 15-10, leaps into the end zone, touchdown! Holy help me, Hannah. What a play by Lawson Gale.
That was a great play. I mean, really exciting play. He made 2-3 moves, went by a couple Storm defenders, and just dives into the end zone from the 3-yard line all the way over the top. So, real exciting play there by Lawson.
Raphael Lawson Gale out of Southwest Minnesota State, up in Marshall, Minnesota. Here's a point after touchdown by Giorgetti. Kick goes up, and Giorgetti gets run into. No flag came out that I see. The kick is good.
And I think actually it was the holder Medlock that got ran into on that play. So the quarterback, acting as a holder, takes a shot on the extra point.
So the point after is good. The score reads the Sioux Falls Storm 45 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 20. And we'll pause for a 30-second timeout. 11:07 left to play in this third quarter. And this is Storm Football on KWSN.
Hey guys, Bellator lightweight champion Michael Chandler here. I'm here at one of my favorite places in the entire world, the wrestling room. But if there's one thing we know about wrestling rooms, they can get extremely dirty. We're talking skin infections, we're talking about funk, we're talking about smelly armpits, we're talking about all kinds of stuff. So, my friends at Pure and Clean Sports came up with an awesome solution. Spray it right on your skin, wipe it off, smells great, keeps you clean from the time you leave the mats to the time you can get home and shower. Not only is it the greatest skin defense in the entire world.
Chad Gamarco, as the Titans put together a 27-yard play, 3:07 off the clock, 5 plays, and they get the touchdown and point after. The score, 45-20. Sioux Falls with the lead, and now the kickoff, and the Storm take it up across the 15 out to about the 17-yard line. And coming up a little bit lame, that, and I'm trying to wait for his number to clear.
There's Lorenzo White gets a kick return.
That's what it is, Lorenzo White. He's got a little limping on that right foot going off the sidelines. So now the Sioux Falls Storm starting this campaign at their own 17-yard line. 11:04 to play third quarter. Storm up on top by 25.
Storm have been perfect on their offensive possessions so thus far. So up 45-20 with their first drive of the third quarter.
Lorenzo Brown back in at quarterback. He'll loft it down the left side, gets it there to Judd Harold. He catches it, takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Sioux Falls Storm. As Judd Harold gets the pass from Lorenzo Brown, and they take that 33 yards. "33-yard touchdown from Lorenzo Brown to Judd Harold. And Judd Harold closing in on a landmark yardage also in his career. And he needs 48 yards to have 2,000 receiving yards in his career. And he just picked up 33. And now Bergner's point after touchdown is good. And the score, the Sioux Falls Storm 51 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 20. 9:54 left to play third quarter. We'll pause for a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by KSFY, Billion Hyundai, and also Scott's Lumber and Supply Company right here on KWSN. Back in 30.
I forgot that I needed the microphone. I started talking.
Okay, yes.
It's time to give away some game balls courtesy of Waterbury, Coleman, Heating and Cooling Co-op. What they choose to do every game is awesome.
Oh, I tell you what, let's take a minute. They have an on-field activity. Okay.
Score 80.
Vice President of Commercial Application at Johnstone Supply here, ready to give the game balls to each of our kids. First up, he was already on the field once tonight, Joseph. Congratulations, Joseph. Up next, 4-year-old, what's your name? Olivia. I just wanted to hear that cute voice. Next up, 9-year-old Kyle. Next up, number 8 years old, Paul.
And welcome back to Storm Football. As of right now, Judd Harold has 63 yards on the night, so he has surpassed 2,000 receiving yards in his career. Congratulations, Judd Harold, on his landmark over 2,000 receiving yards in his IFL career. Having an on-field presentation. Again, Sioux Falls been very active in raising money for the community. Over $500,000 been raised over the last years for worthy causes and in memory of different people in scholarship form. And it has been an amazing journey that Jim Lauria has taken this franchise on as far as his ability to get the community to rally around this ball club and to contribute to such worthy things. And unfortunately, Jim Lauria is going to be leaving the Sioux Falls Storm. He has a great opportunity, he and his wife up in Minneapolis, to be moving up there. But thank you for Jim Lauria and all that he has done for the Sioux Falls community. The Sioux Falls Storm leading 52-20. 52-20, 32-point advantage. Here's a bounding kick. Takes a big bounce, going to be fielded by Lindsay at about the 1-yard line. Takes it to the 5, up to the 10, maybe about to the 12-yard line. And that's where the Titans will have the ball, first down and 10.
Again, it's just a challenging kick to cover with the squib. Lindsay brings the ball up to about the 12-yard line. It looked like he had a seam, but the Storm kickoff unit really closed well and made a great tackle. So they will come up Cedar Rapids at their own 12-yard line, first down and 10.
9:45, clock is counting, third quarter. Storm leading 52-20. Medlock fakes the handoff, throws for the end zone, looking downfield for Bell, way over his head. Snoop Blackman in on coverage for the Sioux Falls Storm. Try to get to Javon Bell, 6'1", 185 out of Texas Tech University. Pass too high outside, incomplete.
Cedar Rapids had the matchup they want. They're finding the Storm playing man-to-man defense, and you have an athletic receiver matched up man-to-man, so they're just having a hard time connecting, getting on the same page. It looked like they were thinking post route. The receiver's running a post, and the quarterback's throwing a go route.
Play on the field goes out to about the 19-yard line, doing some checking on the scores down in Arizona. The Rattlers leading 30-13. Rattlers have the ball. 8 seconds left to go till halftime down in Phoenix. But the Rattlers have the ball, 30-13, 8 seconds to play. Now it is third down and 3 for the Cedar Rapids Titans. They have the ball at their own 19-yard line. Too deep on the left side. Medlock, the quarterback. Jake Medlock out of Florida International. And doesn't like the alignment, so he'll call a timeout. That's the first timeout by the Titans in this half, so we're going to pause for a 30-second timeout with them. 8:25 to play, third quarter.
Billion Hyundai, our knowledgeable staff is dedicated to finding you the right vehicle. Get to know us today. You'll be glad you did. Check out our great deals on new Hyundais, including the all-new 2018 Hyundai Sonata, our best Sonata ever. Or check out one of our incredible SUVs, like the new 2018 Hyundai Tucson or Santa Fe, all with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and Hyundai Assurance. See dealer for limited warranty details. Get to know us at Billion Hyundai, 41st and Westport, Sioux Falls, or at billionauto.com/Hyundai.
And welcome back to Storm Football. 8:25 to play, third quarter. 52-20, the Sioux Falls Storm with the lead over the Cedar Rapids Titans. The Titans have the ball, third down and about 3. The ball's resting inside their own 20-yard line. Jake Medlock send one through the box, but he fakes the handoff, throws it upfield, gets it there to Wade, and it's completion, and takes it into Storm territory down to about the 19-yard line. That's going to be a first down for Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids are on a double fly sweep motion and then come back to the left side of the field with a quick under route going the opposite direction. So nice play action execution. Puts them at first down on the Storm 19.
Clock rolls, third quarter, 7:53. And now Medlock, shotgun, gives the handoff this time to Lawson Gale. Tries to turn the right corner, but he's going to be tracked down. Claude Davis. Claude Davis out of University of South Florida. Flag on the field on the far side. Claude Davis had some time in the NFL with the New York Jets in 2013. He was a reserve player for them. Then also for the AFL Tampa Bay Storm.
Number 34, inside the belt, not mirroring. That penalty enforced, 5 yards, previous spot, replay, first down.
That foul called on Damon Smith II. Just joined the Sioux Falls Storm this week out of the University of South Alabama. And the penalty pushes it down from the 19 down to the 14-yard line. Cedar Rapids Titans. Gives the handoff Lawson Gale, but he runs into one of his own players. Then he's going to be caught from the backside as Kwame Bell caught him from the backside, brought him down out of Clarion University. Last year played for the Colorado Crush, started 2018 at Cedar Rapids, then traded to the Sioux Falls Storm. Kwame Bell. You know, Chad, that's always something when these players play for a team that they used to be on. Everybody elevates their play just a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of rivalry within the league. Guys moving back and forth from team to team.
Back to pass. Medlock just dumps it across the middle, gets it there to Lawson Gale. Slips out of a tackle, squirts down to about the 11. And that's going to be set up third down and a good yard or so to go for the Cedar Rapids Titans. And basically right now for them, they just want to be able to sustain a drive and get into the end zone, score, have some positive things happen. They're 1-5 in the year playing the Storm, and they just want to have something good to take with them out of this facility tonight.
And they have the talent to do that. They need to consistently put it together. And I agree with you, is if they can just keep a couple positive things.
And Medlock was under pressure, throws it upfield, gets it there to Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck stymied at the goal line, but extends his arm out, and it crosses the plane of the goal line, and that's a touchdown for Cedar Rapids. Good job done by Connor Hollenbeck.
And I was just kind of stunned just mid-sentence there. Hollenbeck just came across the middle, catches the ball, and he just one arm sticks it across the goal line. And it looked like the Storm was there to defend it. He just hand caught it in a crowd, and it was just a pause, and he sticks the ball over the goal line for a touchdown.
Here's the rush, and the kick goes up anyway, and it is good by Michael Giorgetti. So the point is good, and the score reads the Sioux Falls Storm 52 and the Titans 27. We'll pause for a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Beal Distributing and Budweiser, along with Orthopedic Institute and Rod's Property Management. In fact, let's take a 1-minute timeout. They're going to bring an on-field activity, so 1-minute timeout. And this is Storm Football right here on KWSN, back in 1 minute. All right.
Billion Hyundai, our knowledgeable staff is dedicated to finding you the right vehicle. Get to know us today. You'll be glad you did. Check out our great deals on new Hyundais, including the all-new 2018 Hyundai Sonata, our best Sonata ever. Or check out one of our incredible SUVs, like the new 2018 Hyundai Tucson or Santa Fe, all with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and Hyundai Assurance. See dealer for limited warranty details. Get to know us at Billion Hyundai, 41st and Westport, Sioux Falls, or at billionauto.com/Hyundai.
Need a fun night out? Head over to Burnside Bingo for an exciting night of bingo. Budget friendly, new new equipment, and a fresh remodel. A variety of games to keep the excitement rolling all night, plus great food and drink specials. Try something new this week and check out the all-new Burnside Bingo. Visit burnsidebingo.com for special events and more information.
The Rosties wanted their new house.
Gets Hollenbeck right at the goal line. He extends the ball with his hand across the plane, and that's a touchdown. And 52-27. Storm leading over the Cedar Rapids Titans. Now, earlier, the Storm had substituted Dylan Turner at quarterback, but the last series was led by Lorenzo Brown, so I'll be interested to see which quarterback comes out of the field for this next series for the Sioux Falls Storm.
Yeah, I mean, Cedar Rapids narrowed the gap right there, so it seems as though the Storm are in control of the game. The other thing I think you got to consider is the Storm playing Monday night. You're coming back on a Saturday. Protect your quarterback, give him a little break. And also, it's just an opportunity for Dylan to get more playing time in the case that you need your second string quarterback to play in an important game later in the season.
Here's a short kick fielded up back there by Judd Harold, and he's going to advance it down to about the 20-yard line. And it's a first down and 10 for the Sioux Falls Storm, leading 52-27. 52-27. Now next week, the Sioux Falls Storm plays on Friday night, as they'll be heading down to Grand Island, Nebraska to take on the Nebraska Danger. Cedar Rapids will be headed down to Arizona to face the Rattlers, and then Green Bay will be going over to the Iowa Barnstormers in Des Moines. All of that next week. Now Lorenzo Brown back at quarterback for the Sioux Falls Storm. And the Storm had the ball first down and 10 at the 20-yard line of Cedar Rapids. Here's the snap. Shotgun formation. Lorenzo Brown keeps it, moves it to the right side, and he's going to be wrapped up and brought down by Ricardo Bell out of Shepherd University. .444 left to play third quarter. Storm leading 52-27. This campaign started at the Cedar Rapids 20-yard line. There's the snap. Fires to the left side, gets it there to Mike Tatum. Tries to spin out of a tackle, but he's going to be wrapped up nicely and dropped down at about the 14-yard line. Gain of a couple as Elijah Lee out of Charleston University came in the ballgame, 13 tackles and a tackle for loss.
So that's Mike Tatum's first catch of the night for the weapon. He really has been relatively quiet, but the Storm, honestly, they've been able to run the ball so efficiently. They can hit a couple big, deep passes. I would expect they give him a couple opportunities here later in the game to be involved.
Pass goes down there and caught there by Lyle McCombs down at the 3-yard line as Lorenzo Brown had some mustard on that one. Going to give him forward progress, going to back it up. That's about the 3-yard line. First down and goal for the Sioux Falls Storm. Storm is not taking the foot off the pedal. .327, clock is counting, third quarter, 52-27. Storm. Lorenzo Brown option play. Pitch goes out there to McCombs, and he's just going to give himself up against the boards. And making sure there was Ricardo Bell. Loss on the play, back to about the 8-yard line. 7 or 8-yard line, depending where they mark the spot against the boards. I guess right about in between. 3 minutes even to go, third quarter. Storm with a commanding lead over Cedar Rapids. Lorenzo Brown puts two in motion, one each side. Play action, no, he's going to give it off there to McCombs. Up the center, going to be wrapped up and dropped down at the 4-yard line. And making a stop defensively for Cedar Rapids coming in there. I believe that was Daniel Lindsay. So it's third down from the 4-yard line right now. And
They're still committed to the run at this area of the field. So 2 runs in a row right here.
Lorenzo Brown looking left all the way, throws end zone, knockdown. Knockdown incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down coming for the Sioux Falls Storm. Clock continues to roll. 2:06 left to play in this 3rd quarter. Storm leading 52-27, and the kicking unit comes onto the field. Miles Bergner. And he has 1 field goal already, 21-yarder.
Sioux Falls, number 3. That penalty being enforced, 15 yards. It still remains 4th down. That's his first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
So that's the 3rd unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that's been charged in this game. All were their first, and this one's going to be charged against Lyle McCombs. So that was a dead ball after the play, so they back it up 15, and now Bergner's got a long field goal. And he puts it up, plenty of leg on this. It is up and it is good. So 38-yard field goal, I believe, and it is good for Miles Bergner.
He had plenty of leg on the kick. Real impressed with his kicking ability. So the penalty doesn't come back to hurt them too bad, but those are the kind of things, those personal fouls, that can come back to cost you in closer games or games of importance. And I think right now, specifically Cedar Rapids, you hold them to a field goal, you feel positive about it. You're starting to get a little momentum. Down 27-55, but you got to feel good about it. That's the first time they actually got a stop on the Storm all game long. So we had talked about earlier, we just, for them as a team, it's just important that they finish the game playing hard, finishing strong, and just hope to be competitive.
Officially, it's a 36-yard field goal. 7 plays, 3 minutes, 37 seconds off the clock. And now Bergner get ready to kick off for the Sioux Falls Storm. Back to receive is Daniel Lindsay. Again, he had a kickoff return for a touchdown as a Storm player earlier this year. Here's a bounding kick. It's going to be fielded at the up back there by Bell at the 20, and he's going to be bulldogged down, and coming up to get him was Javon Snoop Blackman. So 1:41 left to go in this 3rd. And the Cedar Rapids Titans going to have the ball first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Snoop Blackman's been around the ball a lot tonight. He's had some nice plays. He's had a couple missed opportunities, but overall he's impressive in that he's always around the ball and he's got good ball instincts.
In his 4th year out of University of Tennessee at Martin, he had open heart surgery just a few years ago. Here's the handoff, goes to Lawson Gale, and he pinballs his way across the 20 out to about the 23-yard line. Lawson Gale, only 5'9", 175 pounds, out of Southwest Minnesota State at Marshall, Minnesota in his first year. Now splitting to the left side is going to be Wade. Deep left is going to be Hollenbeck. He's been held pretty much in check. He's their leading receiver. 2 in motion, and it goes there to Lawson Gale again, and this time Chris Martin's going to tackle him and bring him down, but not after Lawson Gale picks up a first down to the 19-yard line.
Cedar Rapids has a nice blend of skill guys with Lawson Gale's playing very well tonight. And I like the receiving core with Markel Wade. They got Javon Bell and Hollenbeck. They really have the foundation for a team from a skill standpoint to be a contender.
High snap, but the play goes off. Hollenbeck bounces off a tackle after he made the reception at the 15-yard line. It was a high snap back to Medlock, but he carried through on the play and got the reception to Hollenbeck. 6'6", big receiver. And he picks up about 6 on that. Second down and about 4. Ball's resting down inside the 15-yard line. Let's mark it at the 13. And that's the end of the third quarter. And folks, we have the final verse, the final stanza of the fourth quarter coming at you from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And the score at the end of 3. It's the Sioux Falls Storm 55 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 27. And we'll pause for 1 minute. You're listening to Storm Football right here on FM 98.1, AM 1230, Sports Radio, KWSN. Yes, please.
The Rosties wanted their new house to be unique, so they went back to Fireplace Pros. The upstairs is traditional, but the downstairs is very modern. They are delighted.
We wanted a different look and feel within our house, and Fireplace Pros, as always, helped us make it happen. They're the best.
Visit us on the web or stop by your nearest Heat & Glow or Heatolator dealer. Fireplace Pros, Heat & Glow, and Heatolator. You're gonna love the way your home feels.
If you like to bowl, roll on into Eastway Bowl. Hey, wait a minute. Eastway Bowl is more than just bowling. It's a full of fun entertainment center. There's many things to do. Games, and more games, plus food. Great food. Come into our full-service sports bar and grill where you'll find terrific drinks with our popular late-night specials. Watch all your favorite sporting events at Eastway. Visit our website to make your bowling reservations and find out more about the full fun experience. Eastway Bowl and Entertainment Center, where there's something for everyone.
Waiting to see a doctor?
What's taking so long?
South Dakota. The Sioux Falls Storm 55 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 27. It's still halftime down in Arizona. The score 30-13. Arizona with the lead over the Green Bay Blizzard. Coming up this next week, Sioux Falls Storm will be heading down to Grand Island, Nebraska to take on the Danger on Friday night. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff down in Grand Island. Then Green Bay on Saturday is going to be at Iowa, and Cedar Rapids will be down in Arizona. And those last 2 games are both on Saturday. So now the Cedar Rapids Titans have second down and about 4 yards to go from the Sioux Falls Storm 13-yard line. One through the box. The handoff goes to Lawson Gale, and coming up with basically a one-handed knockdown there was Desmond Reed. As Lawson Gale is going by, Reed just put his paw and kind of knocked him down off his balance. It's going to be short of a first down, third down and about 2. So now it is going to be third down. Third down and about 2 yards to go for the Cedar Rapids Titans, trailing the Storm 55-27. Medlock gives the handoff, goes there to Lawson Gale. He's got some room on the right side, into the end zone, touchdown, Cedar Rapids. And he has been an impressive runner all night, Lawson Gale.
Lawson Gale's really, with his opportunity, he's made the most of it, having basically his first start of the year at running back. So he came out ready to play tonight, and he's been the one main spark for Cedar Rapids tonight.
Through 3 quarters of play, he had 58 yards in rushing, 1 touchdown. Now he picks up his second rushing touchdown. High snap. Giorgetti puts the kick up, had some pressure on it, but the kick is up and the point is good. And the Cedar Rapids keeps coming back. It is the Sioux Falls Storm 55 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 34. Run down some of the other stats through 3 quarters of play. Total offense, 224 yards for the Storm, 175 for the Titans of Cedar Rapids. Lorenzo Brown in passing, 6 of 7, 135 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. For Medlock, 15 of 24, 118 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, long of 25 and 1 sack. In receiving, all Hollenbeck, Bell, and Lawson Gale all have a receiving touchdown, and Lawson Gale has 1 rushing touchdown. Leading receiver for the Sioux Falls Storm, Judd Harrell, who just went over 2,000 receiving yards in his IFL career. And Kareem Jones, 1 for 30. Melvin German, 1 for 28. McCombs, 1 for 11. And Tatum, 1 for 3. But Lyle McCombs in rushing the football tonight for the Storm. 10 carries, 45 yards. A net of 41. He has 1 rushing touchdown. Lorenzo Brown, 3 rushing touchdowns. And now Giorgetti getting ready to kick it off for the Cedar Rapids Titans. And he puts it up high, end over end, and long. And it's going to go over the backboard. And somebody gets a free football. And so the Sioux Falls Storm will have the ball first down and 10. And they'll mark it at the 25-yard line. 13:38 left to go in this fourth quarter. Storm leading 55-34 over the Cedar Rapids Titans. Rich Frosty along with Chad Gamarco. Chad, how many children do you have?
I have 3 kids right now. I actually have a daughter that's 16. She goes to Lincoln High School. And then I have Pierce, my son, with me tonight. He's a 6th grader.
All right.
At Patrick Henry. And then we have one 10-year-old Cruz, and he's a 4th grader at Harvey Dunn.
So now Lorenzo Brown in at quarterback for the Sioux Falls Storm. Puts 1 through the box, Melvin German, but the handoff goes instead to Lyle McCombs. He goes right side, takes it down across the 20, all the way down to the 17-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 7, and second down and about 3. Well, Pierce, you're in 7th grade, you said, or 6th grade? Which is it? 6th grade? Yeah. Tell you what, that was the best 3 years of my life, 6th grade.
That's what they do in Sacred Heart.
Yeah, that's exactly right. At my hometown, Sacred Heart, Minnesota. And Chad grew up at Bird Island, just down the road about 20 miles or so. Lorenzo Brown, second down and a deuce. Gives the handoff, goes there to Lyle McCombs. And he's just going to give himself up against the boards after he had some pressure in the backfield. Got away from that, and I'm not sure if Bryce McLean knew whether or not that McCombs had the football or not.
Well, he wrapped him up, and he just let him go. So, you know, it would have been a tackle for a loss. I think he picked up a couple on that play. So, it looks like he gained 2 or 3 yards.
But it kind of looked like he just didn't know that he was the ball carrier.
No, basically you just got to finish the play, but he was deceived.
Back to pass, Lorenzo Brown under pressure, rolls right, throws it up, end zone, tipped away. Nicely done, as down there was Elijah Lee. Got the broken pass, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And you're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Sprint, along with Integrated Chiropractic and Rehab Mattress Firm, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital, and Craven Bar and Grill. So it is 4th down and about 4. And now onto the field, Miles Bergner for another field goal attempt. He just completed one of 36 yards. And they're going to put this one down at the 24. So 26, 34-yard attempt on this one. There's a snap, placement, kick. It's up, and it is good. And Miles Bergner, I believe, has been all but perfect tonight in his kicks. And with 11:16 left to play in the fourth quarter, it's a Sioux Falls Storm 58 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 34. And we'll keep it right here. You're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Boyer Trucks, First Premier Bank, and Fireplace Professionals, along with Waterbury Heating and Cooling and Coleman Heating and Air Conditioning. Stay tuned after the ball game, and we'll have the post-game show brought to you by Billion Hyundai Mazda, and they are the sponsors of the post-game show. And the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Curtis Riggs, will make his way up here to the press box, and we'll have a conversation with him, talk about this game, and also talk about the game coming up against Nebraska, which will be next Friday at 7 o'clock down in Grand Island. 11:16 to go in this fourth quarter, 58-34. The Storm leading over the Titans. And now Nathan Lindsay. Check that, Daniel Lindsay. back to receive, but it's a low kick in front. Hits one of the up backs, the blockers, and it goes out of bounds. And they're going to say that it is going to be Storm football at about the 23-yard line. Check that Titans ball. Officials are debating where it went out of bounds.
It does look like they're going to mark it at the 22. But
Receiving team clear before it went out of bounds. The ball will be placed at the spot where it went out of bounds. First down.
So the Storm get a field goal, and now the Titans with 11:15 to play in the fourth quarter. And they're going to have the ball at their own 22-yard line, first down and 10. Fakes the handoff, fires the right side, gets it to Hollenbeck, but Jabari Gorman right there to wrap him up after a gain of about 7 yards. But we got a late flag thrown, and this possibly will be a flag against Sean Brown, an offensive lineman downfield. Officials talking things over. Obviously going to be a dead ball foul. Away from the play.
And this would be Cedar Rapids' third. I'm not sure if he got one earlier or not.
I'm thinking that it possibly, but I think that might have been against Wainwright, but I'm not sure. We'll wait and see, and head referee Brad Bunting will tell us all about it. This officiating crew's done a good job, kept control of the game, kept tempers at a minimum. 11 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter. Storm leading 58-34.
Cedar Rapids with their skill set of guys on offense. Just 1 second, they're going to come with the call here on the penalty.
Personal foul, offense, number 65, unnecessary roughness. That penalty, 15 yards from the end of the run. Replay, first down.
So unlike an unsportsmanlike, that does not count as far as the disqualification. That's just unnecessary roughness, not unsportsmanlike penalty. Back to you, Chad.
Well, Cedar Rapids, they have the skill set on their offense. Their challenge has been getting in a rhythm, whether it be penalties hurting them, just miscues which have led to turnovers. But they have the talent. They're just to execute on a consistent basis is the one thing they're lacking. And these type of miscues, like for example, that penalty puts them at a 1st and 20 now from their own 12 versus first down from their 22.
Medlock, shotgun formation, empty backfield. Two in motion, one each side. Short drop, fires it across the middle. Oh, but picked off Snoop Blackman. Oh, but should have had that one too. Oh my, that is what, 2 or 3 tonight that have just gone through his hand.
That's his third one, and that one was, I had mentioned earlier, I thought he was going to get another shot, and that was it. You don't get more than 3 shots usually in a game.
If that.
He's not making any progress towards playing offense. I know that.
10:09 to play fourth quarter. Storm leading 58-34. Medlock swings it off to the left side, gets it there to Wade. He's got some room to run. Made a move at the 20, down to the 15, all the way down to, they're going to mark him at the 15-yard line. But nice job by Marquell Wade out of University of Arkansas. Going to be set up down at the Sioux Falls Storm 15-yard line. Underway down in Arizona, and it's 36-20. 36-20, Arizona Rattlers with the lead. A closer game than many people thought down in Arizona. Now Metlock, two in motion to the right side, fakes the handoff, gets it there to Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck's wrapped up and dropped down at about the 8-yard line. And Smith making a stop defensively for the Sioux Falls Storm. Reed also there for the Storm.
And Rich, not only do they have a skill set, they got a nice blend. I mean, Hollenbeck's a big receiver. They got a quick running back. They got two very athletic receivers playing on the other side. So they got a nice mix on their offense. They're starting to get in a rhythm. I think the positive Cedar Rapids takes away from tonight is they established a run game, which had previously been lacking. So Lawson Gale has really gave them a little more balance in their offense.
Here's a little touch pass around the left side, incomplete, and Medlock wanted to have a pass interference. The official said it was tipped, so contact could be made, and they're still having a conversation on the sidelines. 3rd down and about 4 for the Cedar Rapids Titans. And Medlock wants a red flag thrown, and he gets it. And they're going to challenge this play for pass interference, and that is a challengeable call in the Indoor Football League. And now head referee Brad Bunting's going to check it all out. 8:16 to play in this 4th quarter. It's a Storm 58 and the Titans 34. You're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by KSFY Television, Billion Hyundai, Scott's Lumber and Supply Company, along with Beal Distributing and Budweiser. And while we have the challenge, we're going to pause for a timeout.
Complete pass and the ball was tipped. Cedar Rapids is challenging whether the ball was tipped.
Waiting to see a doctor?
What's taking so long?
It can take a while.
I don't have time for this.
Or longer than a while.
We've been here 2 hours.
Forever.
Hello?
What would you say if there was another option?
Finally.
Yes.
It's about time.
We're inclined to agree. It's about time for the best patient care. Sioux Falls Urgent Care.
Or how effective you think it's going to be. The ref calling the play, I would guess more times than not, they're going to lean towards the judgment call. The challenge would be it's not a definitive play.
Yeah.
You know, when you generally look at a review play, is video evidence conclusive to the call? The challenge with pass interference, or whether or not it's the tip, is basically gives you conclusive evidence, but pass interference can be a subjective call. So to me, that's where the gray area lies on this particular play.
And that's exactly the way the rule is written, that the referee, looking at it, he has total discretion, but it has to be convincing and irrefutable evidence that the challenge is upheld. Arizona Rattlers, Darrell Monroe just had a 37-yard touchdown run for the Rattlers. Point after is no good, so it's 36-20. 36-20 Arizona over Green Bay. And there's 12-11 left to go in the 3rd quarter down in Phoenix. And here's the referee, Brad Bundy, to tell us about it. He and the umpire are going to confer, making sure they have it right. And Medlock.
After further review, the ball was tipped. Therefore, there's no pass interference. Cedar Rapids is charged a timeout. Result of play, 3rd down.
So the play stands as called. So now there's 8:16, and the clock will start on the ready, I believe. So 8:16, 58-34, Storm with the lead over Cedar Rapids. And it was the same as a timeout because of the challenge, so the clock doesn't start until now. Motion both sides, back to pass. Medlock throws it upfield, gets it there to Hollenbeck. Caught it at the 4-yard line, struggles down to about the 2. Snoop Blackman and others in on the stop, along with Marlon Moore for the Sioux Falls Storm.
Hollenbeck's kind of your go-to guy in this area of the field, though, with his body size, his ability to position himself. And he's a good hand catcher. He extends out well.
So now, first down and goal for Cedar Rapids at the Storm 2. Fakes the handoff, and the quarterback, Medlock, gets wrapped up and dropped short of the goal line, maybe gain a half a yard. And you're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by Orthopedic Institute, Rod's Property Management, Sprint, and Integrated Chiropractic and Rehab. 7:10 left to play in this fourth quarter. Storm leading 58-34. And the Titans threatening to score down close to the 1 yard line, working from the right side hash. Now Javon Bell deep on the right side. Deep left is going to be Hollenbeck. They both go in motion. Fakes the handoff. Medlock's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, as he saw that corner wide open, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Cedar Rapids. And now it's 58-40. 58-40.
Medlock really did a nice job with his ball fake. He sold the dive inside, pulled it, scampers to the right side for a touchdown. So I think they found the Storm in a man. They either found him in man coverage, or basically there was bad discipline on the outside edge by the defenders, but they executed with that ball fake, which is what really created the opportunity to score.
Giorgetti on the point after touchdown. He puts it up, and it's good. So the score reads, with 6:05 to play in the fourth quarter, it's a Sioux Falls Storm 58 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 41. We have a 17-point ball game. 17-point ball game, and the Storm is led by as much as 32 was the largest lead there. Now it's a 17-point lead. But we'll pause for a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Storm Football, brought to you by, right here on KWSN, Mattress Firm, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital, along with Craven Bar and Grill. Back in, let's get a 30-second timeout. All right. Okay. Well, tonight they had a very special fundraiser, and it's a memorial fundraiser. And tonight the fans raised over $20,000. $20,000 raised for this scholarship program. Congratulations to this crowd for what they have done in raising another $20,000 for something so very, very important and so very, very admirable. 6:05 left to play in this fourth quarter. And the Cedar Rapids Titans just put together an 8-play drive, 28 yards, 4:31 off the clock, and it was Jake Medlock with a 1-yard touchdown run. Giorgetti's kick was good, and it's a 17-point ball game. Chad, can you say onside kick?
Well, they're set up for it. I mean, the Storm's got their onside kick team on the field, or their hands team on the field.
Cedar Rapids has not attempted one this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just go deep squib down the middle and try to take their chances for field position.
Here's the run up by Giorgetti. He does do exactly what Chad said. It's a high kick. It's going to be Lorenzo Brown, 3 yards deep, takes it up to the left side, stops, and going to be rolled down at about the 9-yard line. So Lorenzo Brown plays a lot of different positions. And this time it was kick returner. And he takes it out to the 9, where with 6:01 left to play in this contest. And the Sioux Falls Storm have the ball first down and 10 at their own 9.
So Storm have been very effective just running the ball, being physical. They're up 17 right now. I would expect they control the ball here, keep it on the ground. and just try to finish the game with strong offensive line play.
Mike Tatum splits over to the left side, deep right, 2 receivers for the Storm. They both go in motion. Motion line of scrimmage as jumping offside, I believe that was Brandon Wainwright. And
with contact, 5 yards from the previous spot, remains first down.
And it was, in fact, Wainwright. And when you're one of the big guys on the offensive, defensive line of scrimmage, Chad, when you move, people notice.
Yeah, you're not gonna hide right there.
No.
I think it's just, a guy trying to make a play. I think he's probably trying to do more than what he should be trying to do right now. Just plays discipline, but again, this is, even though they're ahead right now, this is where the Storm like to take advantage of the defense. They're on their own 15.
Back to pass, play action pass. Lorenzo Brown steps up. Now he's going to run. He's at the 20, 25, 20. Still on his feet, veers it to the right side, 15, to the 10, and rammed out of bounds at about the 10-yard line as Lindsay and White combine on the stop, but Lorenzo Brown takes it from the 9-yard line down to the 10. 30-yard, 29-yard pickup.
Lorenzo, he's a good decision maker. They did want to take that shot deep. They saw the Rapids defenders drop into coverage, so he just sprinted right up the middle down to the 10-yard line.
Clock rolls. 4:34 to play in this fourth quarter. Storm leading 58-41. And now Lorenzo Brown gives the handoff, goes inside to McCombs, and he has a nice tackle made on him down about the 6, gain of about 4 yards. But Lindsay coming up with a nice leg wrap around the knees and brings him down. It sets up second down and goal from the 6. Storm not taking any extra time, going with a no-huddle offense. 4 minutes even to go in this fourth quarter clock. Lorenzo Brown, shotgun empty backfield. Tatum comes through the box. Tatum gets the handoff, turns the corner, lowers his shoulder, takes it down. Did he get into the end zone? Yes, touchdown, Mike Tatum.
Mike Tatum's first carry of the night goes for a touchdown, so he just came by on a fly sweep, caught up, hit the edge, and did what he needed to do to get into the end zone.
Now, he's very close. If he has not already, he needed 103 all-purpose yards to have 6,500 on his IFL career. He needed 103 yards, and we'll try to find that out for you. Whether, in fact, he did accomplish that tonight. There's a snap, placement kick by Bergner, and he has been perfect tonight. 3 minutes and 1 second left to go in this contest. It's a Sioux Falls Storm 65 and the Titans 41. We'll pause for a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Storm Football right here on KWSN. Back right after this.
Breathe easier when you have your ducts cleaned by Waterbury. Call us today. Routine service.
Drive 41 yards, 2 minutes and 16 seconds off the clock. Miles Bergner's kick is good, and the Sioux Falls Storm leads 65-41. 65-41, and Mike Tatum has 6 yards rushing the ball, and he has only 3 yards receiving the ball, so he has not quite reached that milestone of 6,500 all-purpose yards. Here's a bounding kick. Takes a big bounce, fielded there by Lindsay at the goal line left. Takes it to the 5, 10, 15, 20, spins up there to about the 24-yard line. And making a stop defensively for the Sioux Falls Storm, Jabari Gorman. So the clock is at 2:55. Fourth quarter, Storm 65 and the Titans of Cedar Rapids 41. 24-point lead for the Sioux Falls Storm. They've led by as much as 32 in this contest. Keeping an eye on that game out in Phoenix, Arizona. And it's 36-20 Arizona over Green Bay. And that is in the third quarter. 2:40 and the clock is counting, fourth quarter. Quickly, they snap it off to left side, gets it there to Hollenbeck at the 25 to the 20, and he gets a first down to the 15-yard line. Blackman on the stop defensively along with Bell. But a first down for the Cedar Rapids Titans. Storm have all 3 timeouts remaining. Don't look for them to spend any. Titans have 1 timeout. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left to go, fourth quarter. Storm with a 24-point advantage. They give it off to Lawson Gale, and he's tough to bring down, but Bill gets him basically only about a yard or so. But I've been impressed with Raphael Lawson Gale out of Southwest Minnesota State.
Yeah, he's had a nice game. He's been, able to contribute running and as a receiver. So they're second down and 8 yards right now, and they're on the 14-yard line.
A minute 33 to go, fourth quarter. Cedar Rapids Titans. Back to pass. Medlock pumps once, steps up, lofts it on a little touch pass, trying to get it to Javon Bell at the goal line, too high for him. And the coverage there by Marlon Moore. And it's down to 1:14. Clock is counting, and we'll take a break at the 1 minute timeout, the 1 minute warning, and that's coming up in just a few seconds. So we'll pause right now. 1 minute left to go in this contest, 65-41 Storm. And you're listening to Storm Football right here on KWSN. Back in 1 minute.
All right, it's now time for the Buffalo Wild Wings Chicken Relay Race. What do you got, Eric? Thank you, JJ. It's time for some chicken ball.
Did they have many people here Monday night?
It was about like this, or maybe a little better. They had more tickets than that sold, but they had a lot of no-shows because of the change.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Oh, yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh.
You guys ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Chickens. Buffalo Wild Wing chicken. Oh, no, you gotta come back. He's good, right up to there. Oh, this is good. We got a chicken foot on the field. Oh, that was pretty. They got your foot, man. We're good.
Well, the Arizona Rattlers have really opened up the game. They got a 2-yard run by Peebles, and then they also get another more touchdown, and they moved up on top over the Green Bay Blizzard. Blizzard did get a kickoff return by B.J. Hill, and he's just a master at that. B.J. Hill gets a kickoff return for a touchdown, but it's 52-27 Arizona over the Green Bay Blizzard with 7:15 to go in the third quarter. But Arizona has opened up a 52-27 lead over Green Bay. And here there's 1 minute left to go in the fourth quarter. 65-41, Sioux Falls Storm leading over Cedar Rapids. Back to pass. Medlock throws end zone. Leaping for it there is Javon Bell over his head. Incomplete. He went up for a valiant attempt. This is the 19th all-time meeting between the Sioux Falls Storm and the Cedar Rapids Titans. The Storm leads the series 15-3. And in regulation, and 4-0 in the playoffs. Storm won the most recent game, 70-33. That was back in March of this year. And now the Storm is going to win this game, 56 seconds left to go, 65-41. 4th down and 9 for Cedar Rapids. Back to pass Medlock. Under pressure, rolls right. Throws it in zone, and it's incomplete, but a fly comes out. I think we got one more offensive play coming. I believe that they're going to nail that one for Jabari Gorman for pass interference. What do you think, Chad?
Yeah, I think he got there a little bit early. 3 Storm defenders were there in the end zone, but I think there was contact on the receiver, so they'll get one more shot here. The quarterback was close to being over the line of scrimmage when he threw that as well, but I don't think that's going to be what they're going to call it on.
No, I don't think so either. I think it was very close. Here's
pass interference, defense, number 34. That penalty occurred in the end zone, so the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
So it's going to be at the 2-yard line. First down. Cedar Rapids, 50 seconds left to go in this 4th quarter. Storm leading 65-41. Crowd is thinned out quite a bit, but still quite a few loyal fans here hanging in there for the very end. Medlock puts 2 in motion to left side. Fakes the handoff, throws end zone, caught Hollenbeck. And that short drop, quick pass, very effective on that play. And we've talked about it all night long. Cedar Rapids has some weapons, but the inconsistency of them and the penalties and turnovers have really stymied them as far as their season has been concerned. But now they pulled 65-47. They'll try a 1-point conversion with Giorgetti.
Well, and the one thing they established tonight was their run game, where he's going to come back here for the point after, which is good. Cedar Rapids, when you get your run game going, at least you got your run, you got your run pass option, you got your, they were getting to a point they were just one-dimensional, dropping back and passing. So if they establish anything tonight, maybe a little more balance in their offense, and like we talked about, they finishing the game with some sort of positive. 48-65, they can feel like maybe at least offensively they can compete with teams moving forward. But the thing about moving to the next step in league play is you have to maintain execution, consistency. But, you're trying to make the bus ride, and that is quite a long a trip as right. Well. Keep guys with a good attitude, keep your team cohesion, and it may seem small, but if you can leave the game and just say, hey, we feel like as a unit we can continue to improve, you keep your team together.
Storm with a 17-point advantage. 48 seconds left to play in this 4th quarter. And Cedar Rapids still fighting and scratching and clawing here at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. And got to be thinking onside kick. Last time we thought that was a possibility. They kicked it high and short. But now this time, Michael Giorgetti teed it up regular. We'll see what he does with it. And he kicks it away. And it's very high, end over end. It's going to go right through the uprights. That's going to be a touchback. They'll move it out to the 25-yard line. 48 seconds left to play in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, that one surprised me that they don't at least take a shot at it and give themselves one more offensive play to finish the game. And I would expect the Storm just kneel down right here.
There's a rule in the league that says if you were a team inside the last minute of the ball game and you're ahead, you have to advance the ball, otherwise the clock will stop, unless both teams agree to the fact that you can let the clock run. And I believe that's exactly what Marvin Jones has just indicated to the official, that they're going to let the clock roll so the Storm can take a knee.
Well, it's a nice rule if the game is close, that you just can't run the clock out, and you force the teams to move the ball and at least make a play. I think it creates excitement, specifically in a close game.
Yeah, if it's a close game, it makes all the sense in the world, because the defensive team saves times out.
Yep.
So 48 seconds left to go, and Marvin Jones had just let the play go. He was an All-Pro with the New York Jets as a linebacker. Back to pass, Lorenzo Brown throws it across the middle, gets it there to McCombs, and the Storm did not take a knee.
No, they're going to continue to, it looks like they're going to try to get one more play in right here.
28 seconds, clock is counting. Lorenzo Brown in at quarterback. Shotgun formation. Back to pass. Throws it to the left side, gets it to McCombs, and he's going to be tackled inbounds. The clock will roll. We're down to 9 seconds. And that will end it. That will, the clock, there the clock goes again. It had stopped momentarily. They thought the play went into the boards, but it did not. The clock rolls, and the final score will read. It's the Sioux Falls Storm 65 and the Cedar Rapids Titans 48. And we'll pause for a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the post-game show brought to you by Billion Hyundai Mazda. And we'll have a conversation with the head coach, Curtis Riggs, and bring you up to date in the final stats. All of that coming up after we pause for this timeout. But you're listening to Storm Football on FM 98.1, AM 1230, Sports Radio, KWSN.
I'm going to run the bathroom quick, Rich. I'll be right back.
Okay, very good. I think I might too. Say, John? Okay, thank you.